how's it going? So it's gonna be a pretty fun show. I don't know how long we're gonna go. It just kind of depends on the vibes, I guess. So we've got a couple stories that we're gonna go over to, and then our boy Savage is gonna be here, and we're gonna ask him about Hollyweird, and he worked in Hollywood, and he has an Emmy. So we're gonna talk to him about how he won his Emmy, what department he works in, stuff like that. And then he owns and operates a record store. So we're going to talk about music, of course. I mean, that's how we roll on this channel. We talk about movies, television, music. I mean, that's how we roll. So it's going to be a fun show. So hang on.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win. I want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooter's gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I fall, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
So it's pretty crazy that it's already Thursday. Man, time is flying. It's already the 25th of September.
Stupid.
It's stupid how fast it's going. Holy Christ!
Needs to slow down. I'm on the back end of my life. Things need to slow down a little bit.
Exactly. It does need to slow down a little bit. Remember when you're a little kid, it seems like a day was like a year and a half.
I know.
Now
Yep.
it's like I wish I had a year and a half day. Like, even even if I have a day that I was like I'm bound to determine not to do anything.
Mhm.
Oh, it's 8 o'clock by the time I turn around. It's like God, really?
I hear you. I hear you.
So yeah, this shit needs to slow down.
Mhm.
Thirsty Thursdays.
Flip
I
top.
think I may. Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of a special thing. Savage was only available certain days, so I'm like, how about we do like Thursday or Friday? And he's like, well, Thursday works better for me. So I'm like, let's do it.
He's like a perfect guest for the show, like you were saying on your cold open. It's like you guys are a Hollywood nerds. I'm a music nerd, and he's a music nerd in Hollywood. So
Yeah, it's a
like,
it's a happy
perfect.
medium.
Yeah,
It's
perfect.
a happy all the way around.
Mhm. So I'm excited, and we have. Can you believe we have an Emmy award-winning guest, Derek?
Yeah, that's it's wild to me, and I'm you know me, I'm all about the process, so I want to figure out like how he got his Emmy, what department he worked in, what he was doing. I want the whole business. And he said he's got crates of albums. So if he comes wheeling up with some crates of albums, we're gonna go deep dive into some music.
Oh, it's on. It's on. I can handle that.
Yeah.
I feel like less than, as the kids say. I feel like I should have. I won an Employee of the Year award like 30 years ago. I feel like I should have that in the back, so I have some sort of award.
I don't have anything in the back. I just got a camera and a Dukes of Hazzard thing.
That's fair.
and a guitar I'm not very good at playing.
You should play it.
I'm just not very good at it.
Neither am I.
You can actually put some chords together and it sounds good. Mine is just like
Well, fortunately, when we cover music today, it'll be people who actually can play their guitar
Yeah, that's true.
at some point.
That is true. Okay, so I was going to save this for Sunday, but because it was hot off the press,
Mhm.
you know we got to play Corey.
We have to.
We have to. All right. So Mr. Corey Feldman was on Dancing with the Stars yesterday, and it didn't go that well. So we're going to watch it, and then we'll critique it.
Unfortunately, we can't listen to the music.
Well, I was going to play the music anyway, just because...
Oh, all right. Fuck it.
Yeah. It
Cool.
didn't go that well, and sort of the music is kind of part of the problem. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play the music.
I agree.
Dancing the Cha-Cha with his partner Jenna Johnson, it's Corey Feldman.
How do you get the cha-cha from Baby Got Back?
That was when I watched this, and believe me, I watched it the minute it came out because I was excited to see how Corey did. When I saw they were going to do a cha-cha to Baby's Got Back, I'm like, oh, he's behind the 8 ball already. Like,
Cha-cha's kind of an old dance, right? You would think it'd be like classical or
I guess they're
something.
trying to be cool or something, but I don't know. I feel bad for old Corey having to dance a cha-cha to Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, right off the get, it's like, bro, this is just not going to be good.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny that when a girl walks in with the itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. Wanna pull up top cause she noticed that butt was stuffed deep in the jeans she's wearing. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring. Oh baby, I wanna get with ya and take your picture. My homeboy tried to warn me, but that butt you got makes rumple smooth skin. You say you wanna get in my Benz? Well, use me, cause you ain't that average groupie. I seen her dancing, to hell with romancing. She sweat, wet, got it going like a turbo vet. So fellas, has your girlfriend got the butt? Tell her to shake it, shake that healthy butt. Baby got LA face with the open booty. Yeah. Baby got back.
I mean, that's...
She did all the work.
Mhm.
He just kind of moved his legs a little bit and his arms.
Well, I did read a story that follows up on what you had mentioned a couple shows ago, in that her brother-in-law kind of low key mentioned that he's lazy as fuck and didn't come to rehearsals and didn't
I
bother.
believe it. And he was
putting-
more. It was more about getting like the. I mean, we were playing videos of him just kind of whatever.
Yeah, at least he didn't jam in a Michael Jackson move in this one, though. I'll give him that. He showed some restraint.
So you think he basically just used it as a payday and or a way to just promote himself? He didn't honestly give a shit. He just was like, "Yeah, I'll do it for a couple weeks."
Yes, I do.
I do think that too. I think it was more just sort of a, in his mind, it was a vehicle for promoting himself because he knew he wasn't going to do anything.
Well, unfortunately, old Corey is kaput. He was voted
so that's
off,
our next
wasn't
clip
he?
is
Oh, I'm sorry. Spoiler.
the boot.
I have a question about that song, though, Derek. So that song's all, it's a rap song. So it's geared towards a, quote, urban audience, like a black audience, about big
Yes.
asses. Now, did black people like big asses before that song, or did that song kick off black people loving big asses?
I'm not quite sure, honestly.
Because I'm trying to think back to the 80s, and I'm like trying to remember if my black friends only dated women with big fat asses, and I don't remember it that way. So
I don't remember that either.
salute to Sir Mix-a-Lot for starting
I
a
just thought
trend.
It was so weird because it's like we're doing the cha-cha to Sir Mick. What?
Why would you do that? Why?
I thought it would have been like Donkashane, baby, Donkashane. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, cha-cha is like a South American dance. Like do something Latino tinged or something. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
to baby got back.
it was freaking weird. I wonder if they I wonder if they play their own music, or they have like a list that they play.
I don't know. I wouldn't think Corey Feldman would have picked that to do a cha-cha to. I think they're just thrown challenges probably by, the show has a bank of songs they can use, and then the dance partners get assigned songs. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. That's a good question.
I just thought it was weird.
Mhm.
But yeah, right here is where Mr. Corey Feldman gets the boot.
Moment, I'll probably hang up my dance shoes and probably won't be dancing in my shows anymore because I guess I'm over the hill now, and that's how this goes.
You set him straight.
Yes. You have
I mean, he might as well just start crying or something.
He's looking for a compliment, which he's about to get. He's fishing for a compliment.
They don't like me, and they.
to continue to dance.
Well, the good
world
news-
needs more of Corey Feldman dance moves.
Thank you. I think they've had plenty.
You're funny. You are funny. I love that you're laughing and that you found the humor in all of this.
Got to. I mean, listen, the good news is I have a brand new EP out, and that came out
Shill,
Promote the
baby,
fuck out of
shill.
it, boy.
To paraphrase Donald Trump, shill, baby, shill. I love it. I'd do the same
yesterday.
thing.
What was that?
I would do the same thing. I'd be like, well, it's rough. It was a good time. I didn't
It's
make
hard
it,
in them streets.
but it's hard in them streets. But Frames and Rhythm Sundays at 7 and Tuesdays or whatever it is, and The Prominent Citizens on Apple, Spotify, YouTube.
Get it.
Called Evolutions 22 for 4. It's a tribute to the Beatles, and we got 40,000 streams the first day.
Let's go.
So you know what? I'm not mad at that. I'm very excited. I've got a new artist that I'm debuting on my label next month, which is my girlfriend, Adrian Sky. She's super talented, so I'm excited about that. So I have a lot of exciting.
It's not that nice looking, honestly.
What in the... No.
I don't know what the hell that was.
And I knew he came out with a song that was a homage to the Beatles.
Okay.
I didn't know he was coming out with a whole album inspired by the Beatles. This,
Oh God.
today's a good day, Derek.
It is a good day.
Amazing.
things coming up.
So many good things in your future, I know. For you, this partnership, what has it meant to you?
It's been so much fun getting to know Corey. I feel like, when you meet somebody and you just instantly mesh.
That's sort of like the PC response.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was so fun.
Well,
You
she's
only
not.
came like 4 days, but it was so fun those 4 days you came.
She's not going to say shit like, "Oh, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with this jackass anymore," because then she won't be.
Yeah, she's not gonna say that. I just like looking at her because she's absolutely gorgeous.
She's pretty. Yeah.
I feel like that was kind of our journey, and we had so much fun in rehearsal. He made me laugh so much, and I'm like, that's the part I'm going to miss. Is like those rehearsals, those memories. Us just in the studio doing our thing.
Doing viral videos instead of fucking dancing. Okay.
I think she's super relieved that she doesn't have to deal with this guy anymore because it doesn't come out of her paycheck. I don't think, right?
I don't know.
I don't think so. She's just like their dancer that gets paired with one of these yahoos.
We called it that she ain't gonna win, so they probably paired her up with him for a reason.
I blame myself for not voting.
Dude, I think Jim and them like voted like 100 times.
Good.
Or some shit.
See, I didn't do my part. We didn't do our part, and now we won't have any more Corey to kick around.
He's
Although
still
he does.
fucking terrible. So, oh no, he's a gift that keeps on giving.
You're right.
Thing.
But you have to miss him. I mean, imagine Uncle Corey's going to be at the house,
Yes,
right?
you still need to meet Rome. I need to come to all your shows. I can't wait to support his new EP. So it's
I gotta meet her baby.
Yes.
Yes, I can't believe you haven't met Rome. He's the cutest child.
Busy dancing.
I'm working 7 days a week, so and not only that, but her husband's like in the room next door doing the same thing. So we're all just like,
Right. How did tonight feel? Was it a complete shock to you?
It wasn't because I knew that I messed up tonight. Like the first night, I was like, wait a minute, I don't know about that. The score didn't make sense to me. But tonight, I will own that, I definitely didn't hit a couple things the right way. So I'll take it.
You know what you did hit? You hit passion, you hit enthusiasm, smiles, energy. Should I keep going? I think you did a really tremendous job.
I mean, kiss his ass a little more.
He's so miserable.
I think he is miserable. I think he's just a big old sad sap. Okay, so
Can you
Corey
imagine?
Feldman wished everybody awesome love and everything from him getting booted yesterday, and some of the comments are funny as hell because most of the people are very supportive. You did an amazing job.
Oh yeah.
Sorry about not lasting to the end. Just focus on positive vibes.
He's got a bunch of cat lady followers that are always up in his posts.
Oh, I can imagine. I'll love you as long as the star shines in the night sky.
That's nice. I wish I had a girl say that to me.
buddy.
I like when she goes, yeah, Uncle Corey can come visit the kid. That's like a fucking roast. I'd be mortified if somebody, because Corey's trying to be all hip and young, and they're like, oh yeah, you could be like an old uncle that can
Yeah,
come
okay,
visit.
Grandpa.
Yeah, disrespecting my boy like that.
Oh, this
I don't
person's
like
like, what the fuck?
Uncle, I'm trying to bang this chick. I don't want to be your fucking brother.
You did amazing.
Well,
I was born with a rare disease called something, Tybee syndrome. So yeah, she's impaired, so she doesn't know what you're talking about. But yeah, they're all just like, you did such an amazing job.
I appreciate the positivity, I guess. I don't feel bad for Corey because he didn't seem to put the work in. And when you want to be good at something, you got to put the work in. But I do feel bad for me and us that he won't be dancing any longer on this show.
Yeah. It's kind of weird the engagement. He doesn't really get that much engagement for being Corey Feldman.
Yeah, he's got like a little niche audience, I guess. But he was big enough to get on the show. Dancing with the Stars is pretty huge, isn't it? Well, it used to be anyway.
Now it's on streaming, right? It's not even on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or no, maybe it's on ABC.
It's
And then
boomer
it's-
core TV anyway. It's just old people
Yeah,
that watch it,
it's- Yeah, it's pretty much old people that watch it.
like me.
You watched it?
No,
It's
I
your
mean
jam.
old like me, not old and having no taste like me.
So I didn't do musician of the week because I wanted to kind of get into the Corey stuff, and we did. We got into the Corey stuff.
Mhm.
So now we're gonna do musician of the week and get a little into the mood of talking music with Savage.
I'm excited. I don't know who the musician of the week is.
Yeah, you didn't want to know, so
I didn't want to know.
You didn't want to know. You want a little surprise.
Mhm.
So music of the week.
motherfuckers. You know that, right? I like it when this shit breaks down. It's like a rock and roll song. A little bit. Well, I'm the voice inside your head you refuse to hear. I'm the face that you have to face, mirrored in your stare. Well, I'm what's left, I'm what's right, I'm the enemy. I'm the hand that'll take you down, bring you to your seat now. So who are you? Yeah, who are you? Yeah, who are you?
There's a bunch of channels on YouTube that's all they do is they go around and play, like, capture live music.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all about that. So it's like sometimes you get copyright struck for live music, sometimes you don't. Kind of depends on who owns it or whatever.
Yep. Who knew that
YouTube's
guy?
with the music? So
Plus, who knew that guy who was the drummer for Nirvana could play guitar and sing back in the day? He was just a drummer, and you're like,
yeah.
oh, wow, look at that. So the only problem I have with their first album was amazing. He just holed up in his house in Fairfax, Virginia, which is where I am, and played everything in his little studio all by himself. And the album's amazing. Second one was good, but after that, when I think Foo Fighters, I think if you buy a Foo Fighters album after the first two, the first song is going to be an absolute jam. And then the rest of them are decent. They always have the best first song on the album.
So we definitely have an expert that can walk us through the
Oh.
music scene. That'd be Mr. Savage. What's up, buddy?
That's a big ask. An expert? I don't know. Spending the appropriate number of hours to become an expert, maybe, but being that expert, that's a whole different story.
Mm-hmm.
What up, gentlemen?
How's it going, Savage?
So I got a million questions. So I have some Hollywood questions, and Julio loves the music, so he's gonna have about 14,000 questions music related for you.
Sure, let's do it. I mean, whatever. Yeah, I'm here for you guys. Normally I've been exclusively doing our show, so I'm happy to go somewhere else and get a different line of questioning, as it were.
Well, we are big fans of the Salty and Savage show that airs on YouTube every Tuesday night at 10 o'clock p.m.
Appreciate that.
Best top 5 in the business so far.
Yeah. Best top 5. We got a top 5 every night. It's always interesting, at least.
I like it because it's a different top 5. It's not like your favorite top 5 movies of all time. You know what I mean? Like, it's always very eclectic. I love it.
Yeah, we try to mix it up. Sometimes we try to be not necessarily edgy, but we definitely like to get the chat buzzing about certain things. Usually we save something wild for number 2 to get everybody, and then you bring them back home with then you bring them back home with number 1, It's like, oh, okay. No, they did it. They nailed it. They rounded it out.
Your chat's always super fun too on that show.
The chat is great.
Funny fellas in there.
Extremely fortunate. There's a couple of people that have become regulars that are hysterical, that sometimes come up with ideas or the responses, the thing that I was going to say before I even say it. And I'm like, I can't even say it now because he said it.
The joke's ruined. So that was a conversation that me and Julio had talked about, because we love you guys' show. We love just the format. So when you guys first started doing it, me and Julio both said we like the way that they're formatted. So that's like we took some of the cues from your guys' show onto our show, where we just do kind of weird stuff, or we do musician of the week. So sometimes it's a jam, sometimes it's like somebody can't sing, so we're gonna point that out.
Hey, no, that's all great stuff. You can't keep it. You like to have regular things because people do like regularity, but at the same time, you like to mix it up. Because I mean, we'll be talking about movies one day and video games the next, and then political drama or something the next. I mean, we are all over the place, but we do. I don't know. It feels like we live in a fairly nerdy wheelhouse. But
Yeah.
the fact that Salty and I both have a background in the industry, there's just so much more information that we're just working with a lot of the times that it's like, whoa, hold on a second. Here's what's actually happening. And I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything and sound like we know everything that's going on, but there's just so many ins and outs that it just makes so much more sense once you lift up the curtain and you're like, oh, so that's how they do it, or that's why they do it like that. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm here to talk about anything and everything. I got stacks of records. I got
Nice.
I got one of my Emmys over here too. So
that's what I wanted to talk about. Okay, so I did all my schooling in Michigan. So I have an associate's in business, and then I went to Specs Howard School of Broadcast Arts. So I wanted to touch cameras and not go to film school. So that's why I went to a broadcast arts school.
Okay.
So I could start filming right away. And I thought that was the better move than going to film school, because a lot of the film schools you couldn't touch cameras until 4th year. It's like, I don't want to do that. I want to touch cameras right now.
Well, I mean, any filmmaker would tell you you can touch cameras whenever you want. It's just a matter of whether or not that this one's approved by the teacher, or you're going to be turning this in or whatnot. Because once it's all cut and once it's set, if you can acquire equipment and be creative, a lot of guys were doing things back in the day where they would get camcorders or some sort of recording equipment, and in order to make it more retro, like say they were shooting a horror film or something, they would then dub it onto like a VHS. Maybe they're shooting on beta, or I don't know. They would dub it onto like a VHS. They play
that look to it. Yeah.
They play it back onto a screen with a VHS, and then they would video that screen. And so you get like the multiple layers of just kind of effects to it. And then that's what you end up with. There's just so much going on at any given moment. And yeah, I'm already
cheers for dollies, the whole thing. So my question is I went to LA 2008, and then I left LA 2018. So I went there with a regular job working at Lowe's Home Improvement.
Okay.
And about 3 or 4 months in, I got the first call, like, Derek, I got something. I'm like, okay, let's go. So I did a lot of reality television, because when I moved there in 2008, there was the writer's strike happened, like right when I got there. So there was nothing going on. But reality caught wind because you didn't need to hire writers. You didn't have to go through the union. So it's like, grab a camera and let's go. We're following the celebrities. Like, okay.
Yeah, just all handheld, all moving.
Yeah. So now, you're originally from LA, or where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Northern California, the Bay Area, a number of different cities. But I went to high school in the Napa Valley, and then I got an associate's degree from a junior college in Santa Rosa, where I was able to intern on a radio station, which was kind of big there at the time. It was the local top 40 radio station, Sexy 95.9, Sonoma County's hit party station.
Were you?
Nice.
It's pretty
Sexy
good.
95.
You got to clip that, Derek, and use.
Sexy 95.9. Yeah, it was. That was the KSXY. That was the actual station. And I interned there for a while and kind of got the bug for radio. And I had always been thinking about, in the back of my head, pursuing something along the lines of Saturday Night Live, getting into comedy writing or comedy sketches or something like that. Saturday Night Live is obviously very high level, but that was kind of like the path that I was thinking about going on. And it isn't where I ended up going. I transferred to Long Beach State in Southern California, and that's how I ended up down there. Studied film, and then it kind of changed into broadcast journalism. And so I ended up getting my degree in broadcast journalism. And after having a bunch of odd jobs, like I DJ'd weddings and corporate parties. I was DJing like yachts in Newport Harbor and stuff like that.
It's steady.
Newport.
Yeah.
It's
money.
It's good money. It's good money.
Yeah.
The tips are the best. The tips are the best. But and then after a stint working at a brewery, brewing beer, I made a phone call to a guy that I had actually gone to high school with. I was back when I was in college, I spent some time I met some people who knew some people, and we got this group of people together, and we all got to work backstage at a bunch of different awards shows. We were just talent wranglers. They would just assign you to somebody who's coming in, and we would escort them around these large radio rooms where there's just 100 tables of different radio stations from around the country, and they all want to get their soundbite with certain people,
like a press junket type thing. But
but on a massive scale. In the back, in some back massive room of the Aladdin hotel and casino in Las Vegas, which doesn't exist anymore, but it's now Planet Hollywood. But nonetheless, that was awesome. And I started meeting people, celebrities, and chumming it up. And I wasn't necessarily making any connections, but then I ran into a guy that I went to high school with. He was production manager for a TV show. He was like, what are you doing here? Like from high school in the Northern California, in Northern California to Southern California. He's like, what are you doing backstage at the Grammys right now? And I was like, I'm just, doing this. And he's like, I didn't know that you did that. He's like, well, here's my phone number. Call me sometime, if you need a gig. I was like, okay. So
how about tomorrow?
You're lucky he didn't try to have you removed.
A few months. Yeah.
He's not supposed to be here.
No.
There's a rebel rouser in the back.
I know that this guy doesn't belong here. Believe me. So I made a phone call after quitting another job, and woke up the next day to a voicemail. And the guy was like, when can you get here? We're all about timeliness. So if you're going to do this, let's do it. I got a gig for you. And it was just the bottom of the barrel gig as a runner, basically getting food, getting coffee, delivering mail, taking wardrobe and dropping it off at, different like boutiques on Melrose and stuff like that. It was a great job if you want to learn how to get around the city.
Oh, okay.
Like I was able to, I learned all of the backstreets. This is before Waze existed. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we had the internet, but learning all the backstreets and talking to people and being there like, oh, no, if you're going to go.
Thomas guide, remember the Thomas guide?
I had one of those. I had one of those back in the day in my DJ days. But when I was once I was in LA, I figured it out pretty quickly. But that was a blast. And so then I literally worked because I did have a background in radio, and I was doing editing and audio production there. I was doing all the major interviews for the radio stations. Oh, when I was at college, I was also the general manager of the radio station for like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
I had been doing radio and working with bands. I was the street team manager for the band Pepper. They're like a reggae rock, surf rock band out of Hawaii. They're very much like Sublime.
Okay.
I was working with another band in Long Beach. And so I was really connected into the music scene, but then boom, I got right into TV. And then that was my 5-day a week for then like 17 years. And I slowly, after about 8 months, I got a tap on the shoulder, and they were like, hey, we're starting this new show upstairs. We want to bring you up on as a PA. We like your style. And I was like, oh, that's great. So I started working as a PA and started showing all the different things I could do. I was also pursuing voiceover work. So I was working in the VO booth, and I knew how to, from DJing and whatnot, I knew how to work with signal and sound and whatnot, and work with mixing boards and my time in radio. So I was like, well, I can record talent in the VO booth if necessary. I can do all these things. So I became very versatile, and it made it easier for them to keep me around when they started letting people go or shutting down a show or whatever. They would kind of find a place for me somewhere else because they knew I could do just about anything.
In LA, you kind of have to. You have to be a jack of all trades, because it's like if this resource isn't going, you still got to eat. You still got to work. So it's like the more stuff that you can learn, the better. And I would do the same thing. So I would be, one show I'd be a PA, one show I'd be a production coordinator, another show I'd be crafty, another show I'd be a runner, another show I was transportation. Like I did anything and everything.
Crafty.
Yeah. I did a 1 or 2 day gig at a place in downtown LA. And I think it was either pickups, or they were trying to do like a little bit of a video to kind of pitch a show. And I'm running around doing stuff and helping with. I was always one to go and help people Like,
Oh yeah.
wardrobe's loading in. I'm over there helping wardrobe. Hair and makeup's and helping the girls get all their stuff set. You know what I mean? So I was just everywhere. And I had a guy walk up to me and he's like, "You're not from here, are you?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "I could tell."
Yeah.
I'm from Michigan. We're you got 2 hands, 2 legs. You better go do something,
Yeah, I was, I came from a very, a strong work ethic background, and so yeah, it was what can I do? I don't want no empty hands. Every load's a payload. What's going on? Who can I help out? Yeah, always being friends with everybody. I was always trying to keep on good, good relations with every department, because there would be sometimes that whether it was graphics or wardrobe or something I would need from them at some point in time, and I would walk in the door, and you don't want to be the person that when you walk in the door into say wardrobe or whatever, they all go, "Oh God, what do you want?" And there are those people, that
I was very fortunate. The 10 years I was there, I only pissed off like 2 people.
Right.
Well, that's actually, a lot of what you guys are saying is good advice in any industry, regardless. Anything like, never say it's not my job. If you can help however you can. And also, careers are 90%. It's like 10% aptitude and 90% attitude. There's a lot of people who can do what you do or I do in the world, but be the guy that people want to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I slowly worked my way up to AP on, and this is on the TV show Extra.
Extra.
So it was celebrity news. Now I'm not huge celebrity news guy, but I had to be. It was like, this is now
pretty funny the niches that you fall into when it's like, I never thought I was going to be a reality television guy, and then all of a sudden, like the phone calls just kept coming. I'm like, I guess I'm doing this for a little while.
Guess reality is happening. Yeah, and reality is one of those ones that'll sneak up on you, because all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, can you do this now? Can you do this now?" And then you're just from one thing to the next. If that production company or that production is hot, like you'll be busy. You'll be busy for years even. And that was the reality train that's an interesting one to get in on, because once it kind of starts, if it's like when they started the Real Housewives train, it was like they opened a Pandora's box.
I kept busy for probably about 4 or 5 years with only like a week off here, maybe 2 weeks off here. And then all of a sudden the faucet got turned off. Like Viacom decided to move from Santa Monica back to New York. I was working mostly Viacom, MTV, VH1, BET, like Comedy Central.
They were doing all reality at that point.
Yep, and they decided to take their ball and go back to New York, which took a ton of work out of my stuff. So it was like, okay, I got to start thinking about something else here. I like working indie films, but indie films don't pay the bills. So it's like, you have to get on a gig where you can stay on it for years,
Yeah, they don't. The indie films are rough. That's what people do to kind of show their worth. It's what you do in between, and it's what future incredible directors do to kind of show their expose their talents, and it's something that huge directors do to kind of like mess around every now and then. They're like, oh, I made this little indie film. Like I let, one of the actors direct it. Like I just executive produced it instead. And you're like, hey man, like I can't even get this little independent thing done. And you're like, oh, I just like screwed around and made this indie film.
Yeah. I had a weekend free, figured I'd get Tom Cruise and we'll hang out and we'll make
I had one of those moments, but it was sort of a production thing where I got a job as a key set PA for a short film called Rain. And it was like 3 days. We shot in the middle of the Sahara Desert, or the Mojave Desert. And I had to drive.
I was like, the Sahara Desert, really?
The Mojave Desert. I had to drive an RV to set, because it was like, well, do you know how to drive an RV? Not really, but yes, I do.
Yes.
And of course, it got stuck.
Oh my gosh.
But part of when we got there, it was a lady that was a pretty well-known acting coach. So she'd been an acting coach for a lot of well-known people, and she had a passion project that she wanted to do, so she had called in some favors. And Jack Green was the cinematographer. He's got 2 Academy Awards working with Clint Eastwood for 25 years. When you're in a position where it's 3 days, it's a short film, you shut your mouth and watch. And this dude's like, move the light over here, do all this. Oh, okay, let's go. And I'm just like, I love this guy. I don't know him, but I love him. But it's one of those learning moments where just shut your mouth and learn. You know what I mean? So pretty cool.
And that's tough. It's very difficult to do. Like it's a great piece of advice, but it's very difficult to do because there's a lot of times you want to show that you're paying attention. You want to show that like you kind of know things. And it's especially in the entertainment world, because people are so, fickle and temperamental and weird sometimes. And the way production works is weird. And if you don't use the right acronyms and say the right stuff, it's weird. So sometimes you have to know when to like hold back. And like you're saying, just shut up and watch, because you want to be, you're like, oh, I want to be helpful. I want to be proactive. I want to be, I want somebody to be like, wow, this guy really, really wants it. But you don't want to be the guy that they're like, this guy won't shut up. He keeps asking questions. And I've had those moments.
Like you've been here before.
I've had those moments, and I'm like, oh my God, I just questioned myself out of a future gig.
But that's a challenge when you're young anyway. Everybody young goes into a new experience going, I could do this better. And I always told my son, like, just be quiet for a little while.
It is one of those things, is you want to do your own projects and you want to show what you can do, but you don't want to overstep your bounds. Mm-hmm. But that was the thing where this guy's got 2 Academy Awards for a reason. I'm watching him and seeing what he does. You know what I mean? Like, okay. So the questions I have is, when you got nominated for your Emmy, like, how does that process go? Do they just come to you and say, hey, we got nominated for this episode or for this season or something? So
the Academy, the Emmy Academy, they basically said one year, oh, hey, we have a new category for the daytime Emmys. Okay. It's outstanding entertainment news broadcast, because there's so many entertainment news shows, Access Hollywood, Entertainment Tonight, Extra. There used to be more, but now there's like 5 or 6. So it got to the point where we won. I think we won the first one. And what we would do is, as soon as they tell you, this category exists, then we submit an episode. Okay. Just one episode. Now, we were a daily show, so we did hundreds of episodes a year. So you had a nice. So you go, what episode do you send the Emmy Academy to for them to watch and be like, oh, they do such great coverage? You send them last year's Emmy coverage. So you send them the Emmy show that you did last year to show how much you blew up their red carpet, and be like, oh, look at our cover. Look how, and then they go, oh, wow, look at this great show. This show has it says all these great things about us. It's on our,
we are awesome, aren't we?
We love that little statue in the background. It's beautiful. So it's a strategic thing, is you send them the show that you did about their show. And it's a very, and when you do an awards show episode on a show like Extra, the entire show, there's nothing else. We're not talking about the Kardashians unless they're on the red carpet. Like, the entire show is, okay, what happened? The biggest moments from the show. What were the controversies? Oh, what were the highlights from the red carpet? Who had the best fashion? Who the hits and the misses. The whole show is just about, then it's the after parties. So the entire show, our 22.5 minutes is all coverage of whatever the award show is. And so that's what you submit. And I think the first year that they had that category, we won. So I have they basically are just like, you're on a list. Somebody submits the list of all the producers, and the executive producers, 3 or 4 of them, plus like the head of production and the talent, which was like Mario Lopez. They go to the award show, and they go and they accept the little thing, and they
Okay,
say,
so they
"Oh,
represent the show. Okay.
yeah," and they're like, "Oh, I'm so thankful." And then everybody else, you get like an email, or you get like this notification that says, "Okay, you can go to this specific website, and you put in this specific number, and this is attributed to your Emmy win."
Okay.
And you then you get to select how you would like to get your award. So you can either get a like a framed just certificate, you can get an unframed certificate, you can get multiple certificates, or you can get the actual statue. Now you have to pay for these things. They they
Oh,
only
really? Hot
they
take.
only give away the one that's on stage, or the three that are on stage.
Okay.
The rest of them, the rest of the lower people like myself had to pay. At the time it was $400 and something to
Wow.
to have the Emmy engraved with my name and put in this nice little box and shipped to me. And there was one day that all of a sudden the Emmys started showing up around the office, and everybody was like, "Oh,
That is cool. Yeah.
it was cool." I took it to the bar. I set it on the bar, like my local bar. I just set it on the bar, cracked it open, and put it on the stage, and everybody started lining up, taking photographs with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's pretty.
freaking cool.
You should
It
have
was pretty
charged him
great.
for the photographs. You could have made your money back.
I got plenty of free drinks, so it was fine.
Ah, good. That's even better.
That's a great story.
So, yeah, and then we were nominated. Pretty much every year, almost
Yeah.
every year after that. We won a second time, like 2 years later or something like that. And then, so I mean, I've been nominated like 8 times, but I usually don't bring that part up.
Now, for
amazing.
mostly producer,
It's just as a producer on the show. There's like a
Okay.
list of a
so
limited list
production
of
manager or
producers.
something like that doesn't get it. It's just producers and writers.
No,
and,
no, it would
Okay.
it would usually be like it's like the executive producers, most of the heavy people in production. I'm pretty sure the production manager can get one. Usually they're in pretty good, and they're running so much of the stuff, like they freaking deserve it. But then yeah, all the producers and like the various other, like the person who runs the assignment desk, and the people who just the people who are just the go getters. Like I don't even know what they'd be like, senior producers or something. I don't know what they give them weird titles to
segment producer. and-
something like
yeah.
yeah, but they're the people that are on the phone calling and getting information from like lawyers or the police, or and then they're checking the mail, and they're physically looking through stuff, like the kind of old school reporter-ish,
Okay.
people that would be. There's always a couple of them in the office, and when you call extra, like their phone is the one that rings.
Interesting. Very
So yeah, it's a good amount of people. Usually for a show like ours, it was maybe like 20 people or something, and it's just a
Okay.
matter of we're paying for it, so it's no real skin off their back to have more. But for a larger show, like if like a Downton Abbey or something like that, like they probably end up making like 150 or 300 of those Emmys. I don't know. It might be limited though.
I
They
was
might
gonna
be
say,
like
gotta be a huge.
they might be like, oh, there's only
Massive.
75, because there's a lot of these out there, and
Yeah.
wardrobe departments have them, and they give them away for so many different things, but they're beautiful. It's one of the best looking awards, and to have it sitting in the background, you can't really hold on. Where's she at? Is she over here? Oh, there she is.
Look at the light hitting.
Look
and
at that.
everything.
I
It's
see,
got the
Oh,
light in the
yeah.
I
background.
see an Emmy and I see a Telecaster. Those are two
Oh.
amazing things right there.
Oh yeah, I got a
It
telly.
is,
Yep. Got mine back there.
It's a 52 reissue. All right, here we go. Something like that.
That's
All right.
awesome. That's awesome. I always made people look good, but I never got like the "you're amazing." It's like, I know I am, but I never got the.
And it's always been one of those things that, like, I don't really take the credit. Like I was a part of the show, and I wasn't really, I didn't win that Emmy by myself
Yeah.
by any means. There were a bunch of
It's a team
other
effort.
people, and honestly, there's a bunch of other people that are very good at making television that I would think are so much more responsible for doing it. Our editors were so good. We had a killer team of editors, and they actually won a separate Emmy.
Okay.
Once they started doing, I think like the daytime Emmy started doing an editor thing, like for the teams of editors for shows, instead of just like instead of the editor for like just one editor for a show, like a team, because we had like a dozen editors, and there were some nighttime editors, and those are the guys that took their time. I'd show up at night after awards show or something, and they're just like wandering around, like looking in people's desks for snacks and stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? Get out, Larry! Larry, get out of my desk, bro.
Scavengers.
Now, did you guys work 12-hour shifts, or did you guys?
No, it was a daily show. It was news oriented,
Okay.
so I was there super early. We had a meeting at like 6:30 in the morning. So by 7:30, we have our assignments and we're cranking away at the show. But at any given moment, because it's news, at any given moment during the day, they say, whatever you're working on, don't get married to it. Like, don't invest but bust ass, like, get it done. But you may get a phone call or you may get an email, 30 minutes before air. And it says, your segment's dead. We have to rewrite it. Norm Macdonald just died. And you're like, oh shit, now we got to write an obit for Norm Macdonald or whatever it was.
Okay.
So I one time had got to write the obit for Leonard Nimoy.
Oh,
that was pretty awesome. They were like, dude, throw it together. It'll be fine. They're like, you like Star Trek, right? I'm like, love it. Let's do it.
That's Julio's jam.
Oh hell yeah, the original.
Nice. I'm really a next generation guy, but mad respect to the original, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, the Emmy was just it was kind of a fluke. Like, I never really the day-to-day work that I did, I was like, that's not, like, I don't really deserve this necessarily, but I certainly love having it. My mother loves
showing it off
and saying
that is awesome.
yeah. So,
well, you're very humble, Savage, but there's no such things in life as flukes. You earned it.
Now, eventually, did it just eventually you just kind of looked at it as a job, like it wasn't something that you
eventually
the roses on. It was just a job that you did.
Yeah, eventually it was kind of just the grind. You just went in and the morning meeting became, a Zoom meeting, even though we were all at our desk, we were all here. But it was like everyone was online, and certain people got like lazy because they knew they could, and other people worked harder because they knew they had to, and talent changes and whatnot. So, we changed to like Billy Bush. We tried to give Billy Bush a new start after his the canceling.
He was on Entertainment Tonight or something, right?
He was on Access Hollywood.
Oh,
I don't recall Billy Bush. What did he get in trouble for?
Billy Bush. He was on the bus with Trump when Trump did the whole grab her by her stuff thing. And he got in trouble because he laughed.
Oh God.
Really?
Yeah. So
you laugher.
So when that tape came out, which what happened? Okay, so here's what happened is in the entertainment world, we all had a lot of tape of Donald Trump. Anytime you called him, he would answer the phone and he would do an interview. Like, he was all about publicizing himself. Everybody knows how much he loves being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So we had tons of footage of him, tons of stuff. We even went to Russia with him. And we were the only people. We were an exclusive, had exclusive footage there with him. Actually, at the time where there was like allegedly the yellow shower party.
Now, was this before he started going into politics, or was
yes,
this right?
Yeah, this is when he was on The Apprentice. We were talking to him all the time, and he had a big thing back and forth with Rosie O'Donnell. So we would interview Rosie, and he would blast back, and we would use our show kind of like as a bouncing pad. Like, it's like, oh, Rosie said on Extra last night, blah blah blah. So then he would fire back, and so we became kind of, like the intermediary, the facilitator of this kind of real yet fake feud at the same time. It's all for sales.
Yeah.
Was he pretty self-aware what you guys were doing?
He's just all about, but he's like, how did I look? How like, did I look good? Did I sound good? Everything is just all about the look and
Optics.
how he's perceived. It's all about optics.
Yeah.
And he said and did a lot of wild stuff over the years off camera or as the cameras were rolling, before and after the actual interview. But this happened to be something that was just B-roll that was on a tape before, they were just rolling before they were going to do like some live thing where they're going to come off the bus and they were going to meet this girl. And so a producer who was working at Access Hollywood or who had access to that footage leaked it so that
On purpose.
in some
Yeah.
in some fashion in an attempt to get Trump in trouble with like America, and it completely backfired. Nobody really batted an eye. Like a bunch of people batted an eye, but then everybody else was like, meh, we're over it. And Billy Bush got fired because he laughed in the background. Everyone was like, "Oh man, you laughed when he said that?" It was like, what else were you supposed to do when you're standing there with this guy who's supposed to be this huge name? He's on your show. You're supposed to be entertaining him. And you're having just a moment in between a couple of guys. What was really weird though is that as they got off the bus, they were there to meet like this other woman, and Billy goes like, "Oh, give Donald a hug." Like, "Oh, why don't you do that?" And it was like, "Oh, Billy, why'd you encourage her to give him a hug?" Like now because we know what you said, now we know what happened. Now it looks weird. It didn't look weird before, but now it looks weird. So
but you're right. Why would you get in trouble if you're trying to cater to this guy? You're not going to go, "Well, that was inappropriate, Mr. Trump." Like, you just don't do that.
Yeah, it's like
you just roll with it.
Did all the other producers and people who saw that footage for the last, however many years, did they get in trouble because they, maybe looked at it or didn't show it? And it's like, it's wild. But nonetheless, that was what happened to him. And he ended up back on our show. We kind of gave him his new, our executive producers were like, "Look, we feel like he's going to, he's been away for a while. He'll have, some good things to say about cancel culture, because that was like becoming a big thing at the time. And he was super ready to be back on camera. He's got tons of energy, and he was a wild animal for a little while, but he turned right back into a celebrity again though. That was unfortunate. Really? Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Some people just have it.
It was only a matter of time. Yeah. So yeah, I've seen some people go from like nobody to big household name, and then they act that way. Like that person who they were is gone. There's not a lot of people that can stay super grounded. I've only seen one or two people in the talent space who have remained like really seemingly very good people. There's lots of them that appear to be good, but they're not necessarily.
They always worry about optics, but you know that things are not the same.
You get the feeling with a lot of people that they're always acting. There's no they're there anymore. They're just always acting all the time.
Paris Hilton's like that. Well, she was like that.
Yeah. Mario Lopez, when he's out, he's usually like that. He's putting on his like Saved by the Bell, "Hey Preppy." He's putting on his thing, but as soon as the cameras would go off, he goes back into his Chula Vista Hispanic, "Orale, hey, Turi, what's going on?" He talks to his really? He's yelling at his makeup guy, he's a great guy. He's also a filmmaker. It's like everybody's a filmmaker in Hollywood.
Of course.
But he just turns into, this kind of like, if you didn't know that it was Mario Lopez, it would sound much more like a dude on the street who had like way too much confidence. And then you're like, "Oh wait, is it Mario Lopez? Does he talk like that?"
You think he is a gangster? I saw him on Saved by the Bell. The hell do you think he is?
But he's an interesting character. He was interesting to work with. Yeah, he can be super nice and he can be difficult. Yeah,
interesting.
Like they all are. He would hide in the bathroom for way too long sometimes.
Oh, did he have the sniffles? You know what I'm
saying? No.
Okay.
No, he had something else, but I'm not really at liberty to go ahead and like get into all that stuff.
Well, so I worked on for MTV. There was Paris Hilton's BFF. This was like 2010, 2011, and Paris, no matter where she went, she would call the press and let them know that where she was going to be.
Yep, that's the classic. Kim Kardashian learned that from her. It's it's a classic.
Britney Spears did the same thing. They all did it.
You make them show up because how else are you going to stay relevant? And it was the era of TMZ. I actually worked with TMZ when it was just a website. They were in the same building Extra was because
were they really? Okay.
Same executive producers, and then Harvey. Everybody used to work for Hard Copy, and then Harvey Levin. After Hard Copy shut down, Harvey split off, and he created TMZ, the website.
Wasn't he still working for Judge Wapner for People's Court?
People's Court. That's his side gig. He would run down. It was crazy.
Okay.
Every day he would then go down, or what it was like 3 or 4 days a week. He would drive down from the studio down to downtown and do the stand-ups.
Man on the street.
Yeah, outside. And it was so wild to see kind of like the two sides of him, because he's a tenacious executive producer. He wants what he wants yesterday. And I did a number of interesting things for them. I didn't really work for them extensively. I did a little PA work for them. Okay. And one time they handed me an envelope full of cash and had me drive to where was it? I had to drive to like Anaheim to what is it called? Medieval Times. I had to drive to the parking lot of Medieval Times. It sounds like my dogs are trying to come in. I had to drive to the parking lot of Medieval Times with a wad of cash and meet some random guy in a pickup truck who was giving me blueprints to Britney Spears like next like stage design or whatever. He was like some construction worker who was working at the stadium or wherever Britney Spears was going to be playing next, and somehow it acquired a bunch of the blueprints of the stage and what it looked like, the dimensions, all this stuff. And
how sketchy was it? It seemed sketchy as fuck.
It was weird. It was the middle of the day, but like parking, like a place like Medieval Times in that area where it's at in, pardon me, in Orange County, is kind of dead during the day. Okay. It's a bunch of stuff that people do at night. So the parking lots are all empty. It feels weird. It's like, commercial parking lots, but nobody's there yet. So I'm just like, I'm meeting this guy in a parking lot, handing him a bunch of money. And he's like, "Oh, sweet. Thanks, man." And I'm like, I have no idea how this is going to go, but they told me to, I'm getting paid, like, like $20 an hour. This is fantastic. So
yeah, I worked for Paris Hilton's BFF, and it was sort of like a reality show, game show thing where it was picking her BFF.
Yeah, I remember it.
She was dating Benji Madden at the time.
Oh God.
And Benji was actually a pretty cool guy.
Was he a cool guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they would, in between the times that she was on set, they'd be in her car smoking weed.
Oh, is she a weed smoker?
She was. I don't know if she is now, but she was.
Good for her. That's funny.
So then they rush her over to outfits and have her all on camera and everything. And it was pretty funny. Is she's very quiet. Like, she didn't really say much. She'd just be like, "Hi, how's it going?" And then she'd just kind of do her own thing. She was real quiet.
Yeah, there's also that whole swath of people who are just, when they're on camera, they're on and they're this character and this, and then when they're not, sometimes they just want to not be that character. There are some people that are always on, but like one time, I used to hang out at the Troubadour on Santa Monica Boulevard, right at the corner of Beverly Hills. A buddy of mine lived right up the street, so Monday nights they had free entry. So whoever was playing, you could go in. I started getting friendly with the bartenders, and we started hanging out there frequently. And there's like a small bar that's in the front of the building, and then there's like the main room.
Okay.
So you can kind of come out of the main music room and into this smaller front bar and like talk and lounge if you don't want to be in there anymore. It's Hollywood's weird. It's like, it's the only place where you would have like a concert place, and then they're like, "Oh, but if you like pay to be at the concert and you don't really like want to be at the concert, you can go into this other room over here and just listen to it, from a distance." It's like, it's weird, but
it's one of the places I was outside, but I never got to go inside.
Oh,
like,
man.
I went to a bunch of places. So
that's a legendary place. Isn't the Doors
isn't that where
play
John
there?
Lennon got kicked out of?
Dude, so many people, 1,000,001 stories from there. A buddy of mine and I, we're standing in that front bar, and we're just like, let's get a drink, and let's get out of here or something. So we got our drink, and then we kind of turned around and we're kind of setting ourselves up like, let's kind of sit in this, stand over in this corner, get out of the way of the doorway next to these guys over here, and we're like, pardon us guys, mind if we stand here? And the guys turned around, and it was Andy Dick and Tom Green. And we were like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? And they were like, hey, what's going on? And then they just started talking to us. And then we stood there for, I don't know, like an hour, and just had like a normal set of conversations with Andy Dick and Tom Green. Like it was, and afterwards we were like, that was a surprisingly like most normal conversation I've had in a long time.
I was going to say that's what shocked me about your story is you talked to Andy Dick and Tom Green, and it was normal. Like they were two of the wildest dudes on the planet.
I have a story, Andy Dick story.
They were both on Mellow Street that night. They were super chill,
really?
but they were super nice, and we just chatted. And my other buddy is very he works in film, and he's also very much like, when you see a celebrity, you just like don't react. You're just like, oh, hey, what's going on? And you just gotta, like, you can't be that guy, because that's the first thing that's gonna startle a celebrity. If you're like, oh my god, bro.
Oh yeah, for super gooning on him, basically. Yeah. Like, bro.
So I've hung out with entirely too many people that I never should have hung out with, because I was just like, oh, hey, what's up? You just gotta absolutely pretend, be like, oh no, I'm losing my mind right now inside, but I'm gonna pretend like I'm not.
You have to kind of And I think they know, and some of them like to have. If you give them a little pat on the shoulder, or that who they are, they're usually pretty cool. As long as you're not gooning on them, yeah. So I worked on Celeb Rehab, and then I worked on Sober House.
Oh, wow!
And Andy Dick was part of Sober House.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was a couple. So they would go into these little like adventures out of the Sober House, and then they would come back.
Yeah,
and they went
day
to
trip.
Yeah, so they went to this porn star's house where she was completely bombed, and they were trying to get her to get sober or whatever. And Andy Dick walks in there, and there's a stack of pornos like this high. And Andy Dick walks over, and he kind of grabs one on top, and he's just like, I'll grab one on the bottom. And he went like this and grabbed one from like the middle, and the shit fell down.
Let me be a cat right now.
Yeah.
That's what Andy Dick, that's one of his comedy angles. He's like, walk into the room and be the cat. Like just like, oh, I'll just knock this out. And then you're just like, oh, oops, sorry. And you're like, damn it, Andy.
So he meets this guy. I don't know if he was trying to fuck him or what the deal was, probably. And he meets this guy. And this guy is like, hey, we're having a get together at my house, come by. And Andy's like, I don't know. And then he finally is like, you know what? I'll swing by. I'll swing by. I can't tell you how long I'll be there, but I'll swing by. We go there, and it's like a house party times 5. We show up with a camera crew, me, Andy Dick, and the kids that were at this party almost lost their fucking mind. Like, oh my God, Andy Dick is literally walking in the front door with a camera crew. And all these kids are just like wide-eyed, like, what is going on right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably be slightly frightened.
Yes.
I'd be like, oh my God. Wait,
like, what is Andy going to do in front of all these kids gooning?
What is Andy going to do?
Yeah. He's a weirdo. And then the last story I have is the very last. Okay, so we wrapped production, and me and a couple of the PAs and one of the epochs wanted to go drinking. So it's like, okay, it's the last night, everything's good, let's go drinking. So we went and just got freaking sloshed. We go back to the house because that's where our cars are, and it's like, well, I can't really drive at the moment, so I want to chill for a little while. So one of the guys completely annihilated the fucking crafty table. I jumped in the pool with full clothes on. I jumped in the pool. The fucking production manager heard what we did and gave us a fucking tongue lashing the next day. Like, what are you guys fucking doing? And then, so they had like a little, like 1 or 2 hour thing with Andy, sort of like a kind of a last thing that they wanted to do with him. And I'm sitting there and I'm driving, not saying nothing. And one of the assistants or somebody is like, yeah, some of the PAs decided to have a party last night. And Andy's just like, were you one of the ones? And I'm just like, I can't say that. I can't say anything. And he's like, why didn't you invite me?
Yeah.
I didn't know you wanted to come. So yeah, those are my Andy Dick stories. Fun times.
Fun times. He's
So, Savage, out of the people that you've worked with, like, who do you reflect upon and say, wow, that was a good person? Like the most positive experience with somebody who's sort of a celebrity or
well, I mean, there's a lot of run-ins, and when you only have 2 or 5 minutes with someone, there's I mean, they can come off as like the greatest person in the world.
I got you.
John Travolta, extremely nice guy, like extremely nice, extremely gracious. He's always, it's like he's finally reached this point. At least when I was chatting with him, it was like, he's like, I can't believe that I'm still famous. I can't believe I'm still doing this. And you could see it in his eyes. He's like, just be happy. Just always, because he knows also that people are excited to see him. And he's kind of he's gotten very good at filling that, at doing exactly what you were hoping he would do without you asking him to do it, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
He's a very nice guy. And so even if you have a short run in with him, he usually comes off extremely humble and amicable to do just about anything. He's great. Working directly with to bring television and music together, Mark McGrath.
Oh, Sugar Ray guy, right?
Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray is a great,
he was doing hosting stuff too.
He's a great fucking guy.
Is he?
He is a great dude. He is so humble. He is the first person to tell you that his voice is terrible. He has no idea why his band ever got famous, and he's just happy to be here. He's the first guy to tell you. He's such a cool dude. He even gave me his hockey tickets one time to he has season tickets to the LA Kings.
Nice.
So one time I was just a PA or something like that, and I was doing voiceover booth stuff sometimes with him. So I'd have to go grab him off set, be like, "Hey, Mark, can we record these 2 tracks?" He'd be like, "Oh, hey, yeah, no problem, brother. Let's do it." Oh, yeah. He's always like, "Oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah." He's so great.
I never got to work with superstars. I was always like B-list actors or people that have been in a bunch of stuff that it's like, I don't remember that guy's name, but probably Ted McKinley was probably my favorite one I met. The one
the guy from Married with Children, right?
Married
He was
with
in Revenge
Children?
of the Nerd. He was
Revenge
like
of the
always the
Nerds?
jock.
Yes.
That jock look. Yeah.
The neighbor in
He played Jefferson.
Darcy.
Well, Darcy was the girl. Jefferson was her husband. That was like
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super cool guy. I liked him a lot.
He's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then the guy that was in, you ever seen Office Space?
Yes, of course.
The guy that's in the guy with the jump to conclusion mat.
Oh, yeah, he's
older gentleman, bald.
Yeah. He's great.
I worked with him on an indie film, and he was at Craft Services, and I was like, "Hey, how's it going? How you doing today?" He's like, "Oh, I'm doing well." And I said, "I'll keep this brief." I said, "But you're in one of my favorite comedies of all time." And he's like, "Which one?" I'm like, "Office Space."
He's like, "It's Office Space, isn't it?"
He just kind of looked at me and just smiled. And I said, I got another question. How hot was that full bodysuit you're wearing? He's like, "Man, that thing was so freaking hot." He's like, "They had to put like 5 fans on me because I was burning up." And I'm like, this guy was super cool too. The jump to conclusion mat guy.
That's an awesome call out, though.
Yeah.
The another major, another person who's at a point in their career that, first of all, you would imagine he's probably one of the greatest guys ever, but he's at a point in his career that like he's only nice, he's only gracious, and that's Jeff Bridges.
Really?
So I have a photo with him, and he was super nice to take a photo with me. He hung out like way too long after an interview that we did with him, and I was finally leaving the office, and he was still in the lobby, and I was like, "Oh, whoa, what's going on?" And this kid, a kid that we were working with, turned around and he was like, "Oh, hey, you wanted a photo with Jeff, right?" And I was like, I would love one. Sure.
Put you on the spot there, but okay.
Sure. So I got a quick random photo with Jeff Bridges, and then I was like, all right, peace out. And he was like, oh, we're gonna go too. So then me, Jeff Bridges, and I think his manager went to the elevator and rode the elevator down together and walked out to the parking lot together, and we had a conversation, and he started the conversation. He was like, hey, so do you like working here? Is it a good, a good gig? I was like, well, it's all right, blah, blah. And I immediately was like, oh man, I gotta, your beards are like in your various films. I just got to say, like, when it comes to facial hair, I'm always trying to, and he was like, oh no, you got a great beard going there. He was like, have you ever, and he looked at me with like this inquisitive look. He's like, you ever thought about keeping the beard, but shaving your head? And I was like, oh my God, you did that when you were like Obadiah, whatever, in Iron Man. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, no. He was like, the ladies love it. He said something along those lines. And it was like, the ladies aren't against it or something like that. And I was like, oh, Jeff, you old dog, you're great. He was such a nice guy. We walked out to the parking lot and we said goodbye. It was like 3.5 minutes together. Photograph, walk, elevator, discussion about beards and shaving heads.
Beard talk. Sure.
And and then a little goodbye, and I was like, man, that was
the coolest thing ever.
Killer 3 minutes, bro.
He got I think he got a star on the Walk of Fame either beginning of the year or last year, and he brought the dude costume, and he had the dude costume as he was like taking pictures with it.
That's right. He put the sweater on.
Yeah, that's great.
So fun fact from behind the scenes in Hollywood is the stars on the Walk of Fame
are paid for.
You have to buy them.
Yeah.
You don't get to it's not awarded to you really. What happens is usually your manager, after a long, great career with you, or perhaps your record company, after a long, great career with you, once they've made tons of money off you, they will usually, if maybe you got a new album coming out, you got a new movie coming out, your star is fading a little bit, they have this ceremony and they go, oh, you know what? We're giving him a star on the Walk of Fame. And all of a sudden it puts you right back in the news. It gives them a point of interest to be like, oh, he's also in this new movie coming out, or, oh, they also have this new album coming out. So it's a very
publicity stunt.
It's a very fascinating and really smart kind of long con publicity stunt. And what's really cool is that you can, as like a fan of movies and TV and music, you can walk down Hollywood Boulevard and see all of these names, and it does feel like you're walking along with the stars, like
once you know the secret, it kind of ruins it.
Yeah, once you know that, like, it's like, this is all paid for, usually with like
$15,000 or something.
I don't know. I don't know.
Expensive.
I don't know how much they are.
$15,000. So it was like kind of expensive for like a regular person, but somebody who makes a bunch of money, it's pennies.
Yeah, if you're the manager of someone big in Hollywood,
Aerosmith or whatever it is,
you're like, we're working it out. It's going to be fine. Capitol Records is going to pay for it. It's going to be
I've learned so much today. I've learned you had to pay for a star on the walk. I did not know that, and you have to pay for your Emmy.
You do, and if you're not the person that walks on stage to get it, you got to pay for it. So yeah. Also, I own a record store.
Yes, you do. So now Julio's ears just went boing.
So no, I'm loving listening to talk movies and stuff. But how did you get into that gig? How'd that?
How
transition?
did you kind of start owning your own music store?
It's a a wild ride that I've been involved with music, like I told you a little bit about earlier.
Forever. Yeah.
I also spent some time. One of my friends in Long Beach was recording out of this like really well-known recording studio in Redondo Beach, and so I went with him a couple of times because I got pretty tight with some of these guys, and so they brought me to some recordings, and I got to be kind of chummy with the producer, and everybody was kind of like, dude, why don't you like, why don't you like hang out and like learn this like producing thing? It seems like you're, pretty good in here, how, signal works and sound works, and you know how to set things up and move stuff around. And it's it's kind of, I was like, well, I mean, I guess in my free time, if this guy's into, and that ended up with me being like an apprentice to a music producer in like a fairly famous music studio for like about a year. And it's like my free time, I would just go in and we'd work on an album. I worked on a number of different projects. And then he also mastered stuff on the side and was working on projects in between stuff that I was doing with him. But in the studio, that's where they recorded and mastered a bunch of like NoFX, was it Pennywise and Sublime.
Okay,
and
a lot of punk bands and ska bands. Okay.
A lot of stuff like that. A bunch of stuff was mastered there as well. Like Appetite for Destruction was mastered there because the guy that owns the studio is like the mastering guy. He was like a huge deal. He wasn't the producer that I was underneath, but he's the guy who owned the studio. He was like the big way. He would only show up for like the big projects.
Okay.
But it was so cool to go into like the mic vault, to like open up this door. It wasn't a vault, but it was like a closet. You go in, but it was all these drawers, and you pull out these drawers. They're all felt lined, and there's just all these microphones laid out. And I was like, oh, what are we recording today? This is going to be great. So
it's like a candy shop.
I don't really play music, but I was also in a band writing lyrics and singing in about 2007, 2008 with my roommate, who was an incredible music producer and musician. We did that out of our apartment. I played the music video a couple times, one of our music videos a couple times on the Salty and Savage show, and we were called Wonderland. It was like we called it electro drug rock. It's very like fast paced, but guitar driven. And all the lyrics are very drug innuendo-y. We were living in the San Fernando Valley, of LA at the time.
Yeah.
And it happens. So,
yeah.
So having all of, all this music in me. I even grew up going to a bunch of concerts because my mother absolutely loves live music. So I've gone to live music since I was a young kid. And after the industry kind of fell out from underneath me and my partner, and we both decided to kind of sell everything off because nobody was hiring us. This was back when just this latest strike and everything was happening, and then AI was being introduced, and so it was just bad news. I mean, I have Emmys on my resume, and I couldn't
freaking wild.
I couldn't get anybody to call me back, like let alone get an interview. Like I couldn't even get a callback out of hundreds and hundreds of applications. I think I maybe spoke to one person and had emails back and forth with one other. I got maybe a dozen. No, thank you. We're going to go in a different direction. But everything else was just ghosted. It's just, you either didn't get through or they didn't care. So it was pretty rough. You're like, what? I feel like maybe is nobody seeing my resume? Yeah. Like I feel like
about what year was that?
That was 2022, 2023.
Oh, I was having that about 2016, 2017.
Oh, okay.
I got out in 2018 because I was working pretty steady for a while.
Finally got out of the joint.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden, like it was like the water thing spigot just closed, and it's just like. It's almost, and it was one of those things that sometimes people were pushing people out, where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna bring my own people in. You know what I mean? It was like it was kind of odd how it was like starting to go down.
The whole industry is so nichey, and it's all about the people and who and every job that I ever got, no matter how much I deserved it, it was because I knew somebody. It wasn't in the industry anyway.
Yeah.
But, I got a job in television because somebody got me into the very bottom rung. The same guy was like, look, the favor stopped there, buddy. I got you your job. This is now you either, you show up on time and you do this and you work your way up, or other than that, have fun. So But still, he still got me in the door. And
Yeah.
every other random side job that I've had in between, I worked on like these fitness, like this really interesting like fitness yoga video set where I was doing all the voiceovers for all these videos.
Okay.
Or I was the director. Sorry, I was the director of the all of the yogis or whatever for all these voiceovers for a major like fitness company, and worked on a bunch of different stuff. I was a music supervisor for a different project about what was it like? Was it health and wellness? You know, inner wellness and stuff like that. So more stuff that we all kind of need a little bit of. So
Yeah.
so we the industry fell off from underneath us. We sold everything. My lady is originally from Iowa, so
Okay.
you know, the prospect of being like not just to use the term like Iowa millionaires to show up and be like, our money will go so much further there.
Yeah.
We decided to pack it all up and send it out to the middle of nowhere. And so now we're right on the Mississippi. And as we were kind of transitioning here, there was a couple who was originally from the corporate world. He was like an executive at Twitter. They had moved their family from New York after he got let go to come back to be with her family, who was here in the small town. And they had created this cool niche little store in this really cute downtown here that sold plants and records. And it was like, oh, what a cute little idea, like houseplants and records. Because also, anytime if you go on the internet, and if you listen to, this might not be something that most people do, but sometimes I like to go and listen to like not live DJs, but DJs who've recorded their sets in like different clubs and various things. And there are accounts that are just great DJs just set up in a space just doing a set. And so you're like, oh, I'll listen to, you know, some lo-fi funk groove soul or whatever. Some guy out in New York for an hour and a half. And every single one of those, there's plants all around the room. There's some weird connection between like the nature of like tangible music and plants.
That's pretty heavy, man. I hadn't thought about that, because you're right.
I watched some mood related. It kind of chills your mood out.
I think it's kind of
yeah.
There's a caring for plants. There's a caring for vinyl. You know, there's a tangibleness with the plants. I mean, you're and we all kind of inherently, even though we may not like say it out loud, we think that plants like enjoy music, right? We're like, oh, the plants love music. Like, doesn't science say that somewhere or something? Maybe I don't know.
My mom said that, so screw science. I believe her, but she thought that too.
Oh,
she
also
said, "Well, we're going to play music for the plants," and I was
Right.
like, 7-year-old, really?
Like,
But she insisted. That they
say
reacted to.
say hello to your mother for me.
Hello.
but so we met this couple, and they had created this plants and record store, and we were like, oh my god, this is so cool. When we had visited previously, we had actually purchased records from there. We were like, oh, because I had a record player, and we set up an area in LA. We had kind of a den or we called it the parlor, kind of like at the end of one end of the house, so that on Sundays we would kind of make coffee, put on a record, and kind of chill for, you know, at least 1 or 2 records worth. And so we moved here, and we're like, oh, we got our little record thing set up, and we go into this place, and they're like, oh, hey, guess what? We're moving. And we're like, oh, you guys were going to be our friends, and
You can't leave.
and you're leaving. And he's like, oh, I got this great job, and so we're going to go back be near my family. And it was like, oh, that sounds awesome. Well, what the hell's going to happen to, you know, your cool little plants and record store? And they were like, we were hoping that you would buy it. So in kind of a it wasn't really a mad dash, but it was kind of you're plunked into this new spot. What are you going to do? We had planned to have, you know, a nice slow transition, but within a month of us being here, we decided, you know what, we don't want to see this disappear from the community, and we want to put our mark and be our own little corner of the community here. So let's take over this place. I know a lot about music. I love it. I cannot wait to start, looking at records and listening to stuff, and and plants are cool. We both were like, plants are great, right?
Who doesn't like plants?
And
I like them.
We've now learned that, you have to take care of them, you have
Well.
to water them constantly. And when you have a store full of them and they all have different, like cycles.
Needs.
Exactly. It's so it's something that we took on, and then we both just decided to lean into full force.
Yeah.
And we haven't I did take another side job for a while because it's really kind of a break-even business in a small town, but it's really cool. There are people that come up from out of town, or a couple people that are even from in town, that walk in, and every time they're like, oh, this place is so cool. Like, it's such a great vibe. It's a small little spot. It's in a super historic old building. So it's got like the ceiling is like that stamped tin ceiling that's all decorative.
It's got a lot of charm to it.
Yeah, it's super cool. And so there's plants everywhere. There's records hanging on the walls. There's and we're just going through records constantly. Like, around me, there's probably, let's see, probably got like 300 records laying on the ground behind me right now.
Dang.
Because that's just stuff that we're going through from this attic collection that we got, where some guy called us up and he said, hey, I heard you guys might buy records. I'm, getting rid of my father-in-law's estate. Maybe you can come down to this small town and check it out. So we go there. I get into the attic, and they were like, yeah, nobody's really been up there in years. So we didn't really know what he was doing.
The White Album by the Beatles, original copy?
No.
Number 5.
Nothing like that. But it was one of those things where it was a large room. It was a very large room.
Okay.
And you go up, and the entire edge of the room was lined with these huge, like bookcases, huge shelving setups that he had built that were filled with records. Just thousands and thousands of records. And then in between those and on other walls were smaller racks, but they were filled with hundreds and hundreds of books. Like every, I went in this one nook, and it was every sci-fi novel I had ever heard of. I was like, oh my God, oh my God,
man.
oh my
Literally
God.
me. That's right up my alley.
And in the center of this room, this guy had one chair. And in front of him was this like cassette and EQ and an amp setup. And then to his left, he had like this stack of like cassettes and various records that he was listening to at the time. And then he had numbered switches on his amp. And then he had these huge speaker setups on either side that had numbers on them. So he was switching between like which speakers he was listening to certain stuff on, and this and that. And he had like really weird high-end equipment to like record cassette, like to get the highest quality sound out of a cassette tape kind of a thing.
Who was this guy?
I was exactly. And so it was just this chaos.
My spirit animal.
And I mean, and I'm walking through the room like this, like, oh my gosh, and I'm having to move boxes of books, 3 crates of books to get to this crate of records. Oh, and then I'm like, oh my God, over there, I didn't even realize there's 3 more crates of records underneath those books. Oh my God. And so I spent 2 days there. One evening was like, I think we were there for maybe like 6 hours. But then the next day, I spent, I think, like 9 or 10 hours straight just in a hot, no air conditioning, 90-degree attic, sorting through records. And I got to cherry pick. The craziest thing is I got to cherry pick the whole collection.
So jealous.
Oh, wow.
That sounds
so you
amazing.
didn't say just take it all for a price?
No, I was like, we were like, can we just like, take what we want and give, we're probably going to take half of this. We probably took about 2,000 records. There was maybe 5,000 or 6,000 there. And we took, there was, it was obvious that all the stuff that was on the shelves, he had already sorted through. A lot of that stuff had already been wiped down. It was in great condition.
Okay.
But there were a ton of other boxes that were like piled on top of each other on this crazy ledge that was built over the top of the staircase that came up to the attic. that it was like hundreds of records that he just hadn't gone through yet. They were all still dusty, covered and stuff. So also the guy who was selling all the stuff, he had kind of cherry picked through. He was like, "Oh, I got, like a dozen records out of there that I really liked." I was like, "Oh, shucks." He probably got some good stuff. But he never saw any of those other ones that I like climbed up on this shelf and pulled these things down. I mean, my clothes were, it was like someone had just dumped water on me and I was just soaking wet all day. It was crazy, but so worth it. I mean,
it's like I'm listening to your story, Savage. I'm like, I wish that was.
There's
look at
random
that.
stuff like the heavy metal, the score by Elmer Bernstein. This isn't like the soundtrack with all the popular dun, dun, like metal songs and whatnot that we're in it. This is the score to the background of the movie. This is like what the composer did. So there's so many different little gems. Oh, look at him. He's such a composer. Wow.
This little spacey background looking
wearing jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then, there's just like, and then Johnny Cash.
Oh, love me some Johnny Cash.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's anything and everything in this batch. I mean, I could just keep pulling. But it's become so cool to be, we think is one of the coolest little shops, one of the coolest parts of our community. Not everybody necessarily thinks it that way, but we think it's super awesome. We're playing awesome music every time we're open. And, we got the door open. There's a speaker outside. We're right by the downtown, and it's a train town. So there's like a train that's going wah, wah, like just a couple blocks away.
Doesn't shake your store, does it?
It's a whole but it shakes my eardrums. The town is a whole vibe, man. It's a whole vibe. But it's a historic downtown. It's super cool, and we just kind of got into it. And now my lady is so good with plants. She knows all these different plants, and I'm getting super good with plants, and we're growing more and more plants. I've been growing I have a huge vegetable garden out on our balcony. So I've been growing peppers and tomatoes and all sorts of stuff. And I've been making salsa, just getting crazy, I'm all domestic.
It's great though. Like when I was, before I got unmarried, I had a backyard and I learned I had tomato plants. There's nothing like asparagus pulled out of your garden.
Your butt?
And cooking it right from there. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, I pulled a tomato off the plant, rinsed it off, sliced it, and put it on a sandwich yesterday.
Yep.
And it was so great. I absolutely loved it.
So, what is it that you think? Like vinyl sort of has made a comeback over the past, let's say, 15 years or so.
Yeah,
what is it about vinyl? Do you think? Like even young people. My daughter is 21 now, and she loves vinyl. It's just her thing.
Pardon me. The biggest thing I would say is that the kids that are getting into vinyl now, or that got into vinyl, say over the last 10 years, they had people like you in their lives who were like, "Oh man, but you kids don't know about physical media. We used to pick up the album and we used to turn it over and we used to do this." It's an entire generation of kids who have never had physical media. Is that yes?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm a Yes guy.
Dude, I love Yes. Dude, I always pick up Yes records. They're great records. Like when it comes to just listening to a record, Yes is always on my list.
I'm with you, Savage. They're like top 3 for me.
Say yes. Say yes to Yes.
Say yes. Plus their covers they're the Roger Dean best cover artist of all. Just amazing covers.
Their art is fantastic.
I was looking at your Instagram, and it looks like you play like a song a day, or you have like a song of the day type thing for the store.
That was just, I was going through, there was a number of days that I was just like, oh, hey, I'm going to, I put something on, and was kind of, it's really more for some of my friends back home that I was just kind of showcasing. This is what my daily is now, sitting here at this record store, listening to, some classic hip hop or some reggae or some metal or whatever it is. Just having a little fun. My Instagram is all over the place because I love wine and I was a wine ambassador. So a bunch of it is about wine. I used to write wine reviews and they would send me free cases of wine just to like write stuff about it.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I got to get in on that.
When you, as part of one of the perks of being an Emmy-winning producer, you learn how to pizzazz up a couple of wine reviews, and they're like, oh man, we should send this guy some free stuff.
You know what? Just a quick detour. I used to be a writer. I was a video game reviewer for a few websites, maybe late 90s, early 2000s.
That's awesome.
And I was the guy that had to reach out to the PR departments of Eidos, Microsoft, and all that stuff. My son loved it because I got free games in the mail nonstop to review. So he thought his dad was the coolest dude on the planet. And he was right, actually. But who knew?
Sounds like he was right.
But your little shop that you're describing reminds me of a little shop that I grew up near. It was called Joe's Record Paradise. And it was in the corner of a strip mall, but it was the cool place to get music back then.
Yeah.
It was one of those record shops that you could, the guy that ran it knew everything about everything. So you can ask him anything about music and he'd hook you up with a good release. And then they had the records that said, the cover said Led Zeppelin, but really it was like a Yes bootleg inside. You had like bootleg albums that were undercover bootlegs and stuff.
Oh,
undercover bootlegs.
I hate the ones. There's a whole kind of generation of records. I don't know when it was. It was like the 60s or the 70s, where it would be like, where it would say like the hits of Stevie Wonder, like in huge, and then it would be like done by the Motown Orchestra or something like that.
Yep.
And there would be tons of those. It'd be like, the memorable hits of Johnny Cash, and you're like, oh, that's, or Frank Sinatra, and it was like done by Mannheim Steamroller, and you're like, what?
You're ripped off.
This is gonna be weird. But there's a bunch of those that I hate. I'm like, oh man, every time I pull this out, I think it's a Stevie Wonder record.
It's like a cover of a cover of a cover, and then we put it on an album.
I know exactly what you're talking about, man. I was hoodwinked a couple of times as a young kid.
So,
like, all right, right on. I'll get that album. Wait a minute, that's not Stevie Wonder.
So you have an entire generation of people who have never had physical media. Like even CDs were gone by the time 2000 to 2005. All that stuff just disappears. It all became iPods. It all changed, and then 2007, 2008, I was right there with like the first and second iPhones. I was jailbreaking like the iPhone 2. I was in the jailbreak community like way early and was doing that for a number of years until it got way too complicated. I didn't want to brick my phone.
No.
But so you have these kids that never were physically touching any of their media. It was just all digital, and they've heard whether it's uncles or their parents or people on the internet that are just talking about the nature of physical media and how cool it is. And then people like Taylor Swift started making vinyl, and so kids were like, oh my god, why don't I get back into it? And then you inherently got this whole other kind of group of kids who maybe you're like your kids who were like, oh no, I'm kind of like, I am into vinyl, but they don't come into my store and they're not asking for Taylor Swift. Like there's young kids who will come in and they're like, oh, this is super cool. I love this record. And I'm like, that Supertramp record?
Dude, let me tell you, the most proud moment of my life may have been, and this is a deep cut, but Savage, you'll probably get it. My daughter came to me and she goes, I just heard this song by a guy named Chris Squire. Do you know who he is? And I'm like,
Squire.
He's the bass player for Yes. But she discovered him on her own from his one solo album. And
oh my gosh.
I'm like, well, what? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do know who that is. And so we sat for an hour and talked to him like, well, he played for them, and this is what, and it's so much fun.
You know who Chris
It's like
is.
It's like if someone
I was so proud. I was like, oh my god.
It's like if they were like, oh my gosh, have you heard of this guy George Harrison?
I know. Yeah, my daughter asked me. I took her to see King Crimson 2 years ago because she's a huge King Crimson fan, and I'm like,
whoa,
she's never mind. I love her. She's amazing. But yeah,
that's great.
But it's that when I went through my unmarriage, well, anyway, I had to downsize. So I lost my record player. I had to sell my records and all that kind of thing. So my kids, about a year and a half ago for Father's Day, bought me a record player because they knew how much I liked it. And I hadn't put on a record for maybe a decade. I was so happy when it skipped. I had to get up and put a penny on the arm to keep it, I had to get up and flip the album, and I'm like, oh, right on, man. This is...
Hold on. I'm going to go flip the album.
It's
my
so
happy
cool.
place right now.
It was so happy, yeah.
And you do the little dust of the felt duster or whatever, however it is you do it.
That's right. The little And it was. I even have an old school box my mom had of 45s from like the 40s and 50s with the little inserts in them, and she wrote like all her friends signed her little 45 box, and it's all these little old 50s doo-wop songs and stuff. It's so cool.
That's great. Yeah, 45s are cool. That's a whole nother ball game. We get those and they don't really sell, but there was one guy that just the other day he called up and he was like, all right, I've got a jukebox and I've got 4 45s, these exact 45s that I'm looking for. And he was like, if you don't find one of those, don't call me back. But that's not what he said, but
I got you. So at your store, I'm assuming you sell a lot of like older vinyl, but do you also sell new vinyl that comes in?
We also sell brand new vinyl. Like I said, Taylor Swift. She's got an album coming out next week.
Yeah, the Showgirl one or whatever it's called.
Yeah, are you gonna have a line of little girls outside your store? No,
there's never a line of anything outside my store. Maybe ants. Maybe ants.
Trying to get the plants.
Yeah, because I'm snacking too much. I'm too snacky. But no, we have a couple of pre-orders. We got some people who were like, "Oh, we totally want it," so we'll just get some extra copies. It's going to be one of those things. Taylor Swift releases are usually chaos, but at the same time, it's kind of a give and take with T Swift because the popularity of her stuff, it brings these young girls in to buy these things, but the profit margin on new records is not good. What we pay for a record at wholesale and what the MSRP is usually not very good. On like a standard record, like let's say System of a Down, Toxicity, like fairly well-known record, but it's a fairly decent price. I think it's probably maybe like $19, $20. So the MSRP is maybe like 26, 27. So we're a small shop in the middle of nowhere. We charge maybe like 28 or 29, but that's still, if it's $19 and we're charging 29, we're putting out $19 and only making 10 back. And that's not a great profit margin. But when you talk about someone like Taylor Swift, some of her albums, now there were complaints because, she wasn't in control of her stuff, and now she's in control of all of her music.
Re-recorded a bunch of it, didn't she?
Yeah, but now she owns all of it, so she doesn't have to re-record anything anymore because she bought it all. But still, some of her records, they're like $39 wholesale. And you're like, I'm sorry, what?
Wholesale?
Yeah, my price is $39, and the MSRP is like $44. You're like, girls, whoa.
Yeah,
but first of all, you're over $40 for a record, that some little girl is looking to buy, and secondly, you're expecting a business to put out almost $40 for a record and only make $5 on it. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
that's these people, if they come into your store to get is the hope that they'll buy more records while they're there?
Well, you hope. We have Taylor Swift candles and other accoutrement and various things. My lady has been very creative in coming up with other little gifty ideas and Swifty ideas. Yep, see what I did there?
Yeah, I like it. That's clever. Swifty water pipes. Let's do
well, that's interesting. I like that. So we have a bunch of different, stuff to go along with, there's puzzles and
accessories
and games and so there are other things to get. So what the real hope is that when the young kid comes in to get the Taylor Swift, that because she's getting a Taylor Swift record, they're probably like a record household. Like, the parents probably have records too. And so a lot of times the parents come in and they buy, maybe some lesser records, but if they're used older records, my margin is so much better. I'm making way more, I either have paid like 75 cents a copy, for something. What do we got here?
Come in and get a little Thomas Dolby record.
It's why is it backwards?
Because my camera's back.
Oh, Why
I
are
know,
you
I'm not the
backwards,
director. You
bro?
are. Connor.
I was. I could tell your left eye was in the wrong place. That's like, wait a minute.
Thomas Dolby.
Good album, man.
Maybe you're familiar with Dolby Surround Sound.
Well, I've heard of it. I have heard of it.
Not related.
My hope for young kids is they will experience records or take the time, if kids even have the attention span, to enjoy them like I did. I would go out and buy an album and I would sit, put the record on, and I would sit in front of the record player, look at the cover, who played on this, follow the lyrics along. It's like an experience that you don't get with.
And there was a little
I know I'm
book
old
or
man
a
yelling at
little sleeve or
clouds,
something
but
that had information on it too.
yeah,
and-
it's
yeah.
like a whole thing.
Yeah, and you and millions of other people just like you saying that and having that nostalgia
Yeah.
for the physical media, and especially the vinyl itself, is what kind of brought on this resurgence. Now, I'm also a DJ with vinyl now. I've kind of gone back into DJing. I'm like, well, got to make a few extra bucks.
Yeah.
So I've got turntables and a table and speakers and the works and crates of records, and I'm out there actually DJing with vinyl now, so I'm making sure it's all clean, and so I'm into it. I'm living vinyl now. So anytime someone comes in and is, wanting to purchase and enjoy, I'm always willing to sit and chat, talk about a lot of times, like older folks, they'll always want to talk about concerts that they've been to. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Oh, I saw them once too. And that's the best thing for an older person to be like, oh man, oh yeah, I saw Bob Seger and blah 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 blah. And you're like, oh, that's super cool. Did you? He's like, oh yeah, I was with my ex-wife. Yeah, no.
Are you sure you haven't met me before?
Yes,
Sounds like
thought-
me.
I've
I've seen Rush 13 times. Yeah, once with this wife. Yeah,
once with my ex.
yep.
Only once.
Only right. So it sounds like, honestly, what you are doing now, I know it's a business and it's work and things like that, but it's like I could live forever in a record or a bookstore. That's just my vibe. Is there anything you miss about LA, city life, working in that industry?
The pace of life is totally different. It's getting used to things much slower here. Everybody kind of just, not that they move slower, but like they're it's people just aren't as urgent on a regular basis. Everything in LA is just urgent, gotta go.
Make a decision right 5 minutes ago.
No rest for the wicked. Like, oh, you got to leave 5 minutes ago because traffic is, you got to, what should take you 10 minutes is going to take you 45 minutes. So congratulations, you're an idiot.
But once you get to know LA, the back roads, you can get through pretty quickly.
You can do certain things. Once Waze came around, it kind of ruined the people that knew that had the insider track already.
Yeah.
So, but there are things like the access to stuff, like having a bunch of different bars that I know are open, that I know have got, some cool people that I've known for a while, or like not that I need to go to bars all the time, but the access to like knowing that, 24/7 I can go to like a Ralph's and go to like a grocery store, or there's 7 different fast foods that are available and open right now. In my small town, there's like 2 fast foods on this side of town and 1 on the other. It's pretty skimp. They close down at they have like normal business hours, and you're like, what?
Like 10 o'clock, they're done.
Yeah, you're like, what?
But sounds like your hood, Derek, when you talk about.
Oh yeah, past 10 o'clock, there's no place to eat.
See, I live 7 minutes,
45 minutes to 50 minutes to find something.
I live 7 minutes south of Washington, D.C. If there's anything I want to do at any particular time, I could do it. But I'm too old and I don't feel like doing it anymore.
Yeah,
but
it's just a matter.
If I were young, it'd be great.
And I mean, the having a bunch of not necessarily like-minded, but like, people that are in the industry there's something about people that are, when everybody's working at this pace, and you got to be sharp and you got to be whatever, like when you go out, like the humor and just the way people react to things, and like boom 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 bam bam, everyone's bouncing off each other, and it's like, it's way more chill here. Like it's just not, the conversations are much more chill and much more grounded. You're not talking, almost every day you'd be talking to somebody about like, oh, what'd you shoot today? Where'd you go? What celebrity did you work with today? That's not what it is around here. Oh,
Yeah.
it sounds like we got a train coming. Hold on.
Oh, there you go. Salty Express coming
And,
to
I
say
call
hi,
it the
Savage.
I call it the fake conversation, because LA, it's like you tell somebody something and you can tell they don't give a shit. They're just kind of like, and they want to say something to be nice, but then when you go to like Georgia or back to Michigan, people are just like, "Oh, how was your day?"
Yeah.
It was doing really well, and they're listening to you. LA, they don't listen to you. They don't give a shit.
It's like
Nobody
culture shock.
cares.
I had in-laws that lived in Alabama, and I used to go down to Dothan, Alabama, every year, and I was like, "What? Why is everybody being so nice and slow?" By the way, it took me a while to get used to. But
Oh yeah, like at a restaurant or just at places, like just don't expect things to move fast.
yeah,
Like,
never be in
it's
a
just
hurry.
gonna, like, just yeah. It's like we're all here. It's gonna it's gonna take a while, and it is great to go out onto the local highway and there's no traffic. I can just drive the speed limit or faster at any time. There's great back roads and beautiful areas to drive around and through. And it's all this is new to me. I come from California, land of valleys and mountains and every single type of geography. And like I could go skiing in the morning and then be surfing in the afternoon. But now I'm in like, it's like, oh, there's more corn. Oh, look, there's
more corn.
hey, there's more corn. Oh my
Sweet
God.
potatoes over here.
Oh, that looks like they got soy over there. So it's there are some beautiful drives and some beautiful roads out here. So I'm getting used to kind of, the different style of, driving through the middle of nowhere kind of stuff, enjoying that as opposed to driving through the beautiful mountain pass. It's a bit,
Some of the stuff that I miss is just, I don't know if it's corny or whatnot, but like going to Cantor's on a Friday night and just having a meal and just people watching.
dude.
Or
Yeah.
Going to the old Amoebas now they're in a new location, but going to the old
Right.
Amoebas record store.
The
I
original
took my
Amoeba.
dad there, and it's just like my dad was like, it was like the music heaven. You know what I
Amoeba's
mean? Like,
a hot spot for musicians. Put on good. I've watched some shows that were done at Amoeba Record Store out there on.
it's
YouTube.
so great.
Yeah, it's a killer spot. The original one I've been to a number of times. I saw a DJ I love, DJ Z Trip. He did a live set there that I got to see. That was really cool. But yeah, they move locations. They always have live stuff. The new location that they have, it's on Hollywood Boulevard. It's much closer to the Hollywood and Highland area, and
Okay.
they have like an area where they put a stage out like right on the street, like on the sidewalk, right out in
Oh
front.
wow, okay.
So it brings in everybody. It's a very different vibe than being like in the store,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's still super cool. They're still doing it.
So does your store have an online presence, Savage?
We're our Instagram is pumping. We're strangely enough in these small towns, Facebook is pretty much what everybody is on.
Yeah.
But Instagram is our thing. We're at Plants and Records.
All right.
So
Cool.
Plants and Records. It's
That's the name of it, Plants and Records?
simple as that. Well, we're called Pool 19 Plants and Records. The Mississippi River is divided up into a series of like locks and pools and dams and whatnot. So the section of the Mississippi River that our town sits on is called Pool 19. So that's the name of the business that the previous owners gave it, and we thought it was kind of cool. We already got a logo and everything, so
Yeah.
everybody already had sweatshirts and stuff. So we just kept with it. We got some cool merch. We're doing fun stuff like this, little Plants and Records logo.
Oh, that's great.
And we're trying to get more kids in town wearing.
So going back to the beginning, we learned of you through Salty and the Salty and Savage show, which you can watch on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. on YouTube. Great show. We love it. How did you meet Salty?
Salty, I met Salty literally just sitting at a bar in LA. I think we had mutual friends. So we were just kind of sitting next to each other at various times, and he was all right. mild tempered initially, and then as the evening went on, he would always get a little more loud and
Animated?
boisterous. And there was something about him. It was the way that he always riled people up.
Mhm.
That there was something like, because sometimes there are some people when they do that, like I can't stand it. And I'm like, F this guy. He's just, but there was like the way that he did it. I could always see that, like in the back of his eye, like I could always see that he was consciously like, it doesn't even matter if I believe this or not. I'm going to say this right now because this person is going to lose their mind. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever. So I started like kind of, bellying up and like sitting next to him and like encouraging it and like having conversations with him. And he would, try to like rile me up, and I'd be like, no, that's funny. I'm like, nice try, but no, I'm good.
I'm not
Like,
buying.
you're not really going to get me. But I mean, we had, once we all start getting a little saucy,
Yeah.
we would have our spats occasionally, but it was just, I just loved the way that he, just the way that he argued, the way that he always, everything he said was 100% right. And, from his perspective.
Yeah.
Sure.
And go ahead and say whatever it is you're going to say, but I'm going to go ahead and then tell you right after that why you're wrong. And
He does strike me as a very passionate man.
he is, but it's just his delivery and everything. I loved it so much. He's just such a character. And honestly, I didn't even know what he did. Like, we maybe kind of exchanged pleasantries initially, but
Yeah.
it was like months or something like that. Like I had no idea what he even did. Like he was just salty. He was just this guy that I hung out with. It was pretty, he was exactly like his namesake. I was like, he's pretty salty. I like it. I think it's pretty great. And then I was just so fascinated once I learned his talents. I think I had just looked at like Netflix. This was before it got pretty rough. Like, it was still like the old user interface too.
Oh,
so
sure.
I was flipping through something, and there was like a Bill Burr stand up, and I had noticed it wasn't normally, it's like an image, like a freeze frame from the thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was like a drawing. It was like a drawing of Bill Burr's head, like cracked open, and his brain was like a maze or something that you would fill in.
Okay.
Like it was a children's book or something almost. It was done much more professionally. I'm doing a terrible job at paraphrasing it, but it was a really awesome kind of illustration, graphic design element for this guy's stand-up tile, as opposed to the standard just freeze frame of a tile. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I swear I noticed it that day, and that night I was at the bar and I was talking to Salty about, I don't know if I was talking to him about Netflix or if I was talking to him about Bill Burr, like I had just watched it or something like that. And he was like, oh, I did one of those, I just recently did one of those tiles. And I was like, wait, you did what? And he was like, he's like, it's this drawing. It's like, his like brain is a maze, or, and I was like, you did that? I was like, and then I immediately, I went home and I'm like, hold on. What does my friend even do for a living? Hold on a second. And I learned how insanely talented he was, aside from just the hilarious guy that I thought he was. And it just, our friendship just continued. And we both moved around the area, the San Fernando Valley, and he got married and got a place. And I moved in with my lady, and then we moved to a different place, and we stayed connected. Salty and I were going back and forth about like, oh, we need to get together, because I was looking for a logo for my Beard Balm. I also make Beard Balm that I plug on the Salty and Savage show. Mm-hmm. One of the other things that I do that we also sell it in the store and online.
Now, do you make the beard the Beard Balm, or do you make it? It's all natural?
I make it myself. Yeah. I get all the ingredients and I mix it all together, and I got recipes and everything.
No kidding.
That's awesome.
So
multifaceted.
Yeah. So it was one of those things that I just really loved the guy. And then one day he was like, oh, I'm like, dude, where's this photo from? I'm like, where are you in the woods with a shotgun? And he was like, oh, this is on my property. I'm like, I didn't realize that, that the San Fernando Valley had property like that.
or guns.
And he was like, I don't
guns,
live.
yeah, in California.
Yeah, he's like, I don't live in the San Fernando Valley anymore, man. And I was like, what? And that's when he like kind of started the idea. He was like, you know what? Like I'm living here now. I'm doing this. I'm working remote. I'm trying to do this and that. What do you think about like maybe doing a show? And he floated the idea, and I had done radio. I had interviewed people for television and whatnot. So doing this was just like, I feel like I should have been doing this years ago, but I was like, yeah, sure. Let's totally do it.
Yeah.
It was months later, but then we started, I stopped working. And so we started digging deep on the show. It was pretty rough at first. My webcam was terrible.
Oh yeah.
It was really bad. Like, it was so dark. I was in my old office in LA, and there was just a bunch of junk like piled up behind me because we were like, didn't know if we were going to move or not. So then I had to build like a giant cyc behind me, like a wall of, and I put like a giant, like a moving blanket, and then put trees in front of it. And I was trying to build like a set. It was absurd, but it was one of those things that it was just kind of an outlet and fun for us to get together online and kind of continue the random conversations that we used to have. The idea was just, we used to just chat about something. We'd be like, oh, hey, did you see that new thing about Star Wars? And then 45 minutes later, we're not talking about Star Wars, but it's a hell of a conversation how we got to there. And he usually made somebody really upset along the way. Like, even if somebody was listening to our conversation, they'd be like, what the fuck did you just say, asshole? And then he'd turn on, he'd be like, you heard me.
I've had friends like that where I've had to go, well, yeah, he's an asshole, but he's my asshole. So,
but he's our asshole.
That's right. But no, he was, your show's great. Derek and I speak for you, Derek. We both love it to the point where our show, Derek, on Tuesdays, it starts at 8, and we're like, well, we got to be done by 10.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
we got to kick over and watch you guys.
You don't have to, but
we want to.
We greatly appreciate it.
We started watching. I can't speak for Julio, but I started watching it, and I'm like, okay, I don't know much about both of these guys. I know Salty a little bit, and then it's like you guys were so comfortable with each other, and you're comfortable in front of the camera, and I'm like, okay, they've both been around the block. They've been in front of cameras and they're comfortable with it. So that's how I kind of first started watching it, and then it's like, okay, I like these guys. I haven't figured out why, but I like them.
See, my first encounter with Salty was on another channel that I'm on occasionally, which is BTM Reviews with my buddy, our friend Dave.
Yeah, and I know.
That's where I first met
BTM.
him, because Salty came on the show, and I'm just kind of a noob. I don't know anything about comics. And at the end, I'm like, boy, that guy's got opinions. I'm like, I don't know if I like him or not.
Doesn't he though? Yeah. And he had been planning the whole Silence Do Good, his comic book campaign and whatnot. Yeah. He had been working on that for quite some time. I had seen, some initial artwork and various things. So this was also a great platform because he was like, hey, look, I'm passionate about the other creators. I'm passionate about, like, just saying what I want to say whenever I want to say it. And like, let's do a show. Like, I think maybe some people would find it interesting. And I was like, yeah, maybe they would. We really try to work off each other. I let him, go. Once he starts going, I usually let him take off because he's usually got an endpoint somewhere. But I'm also a lot of times I'm trying to produce the show in behind the scenes. It's kind of difficult, because it's just some live stream. And they're like, what kind of production is there? But, bringing things on and off and looking things up and bringing on the chat stuff
and smooth as you're trying to transition from one thing to another.
And
that's
trying
the
to
part.
Yeah.
Segues.
bring on transitions, because we do a top 5. We used to do a record of the week all the time. I'm trying to bring that back, but Salty was always like,
great.
He was always like, he's like, I hate that record this week or so. So he kind of was, it used to be like, oh, we didn't do record of the week, but now he just doesn't even remember. He doesn't care.
That's fair.
So I always try to bring something. I always try to have something around that's like interesting for him though. Cause if I'm like, I got Oh, what about the Muppet movie?
Oh God!
I mean,
Jesus, look at that! Oh, amazing!
Something interesting, a little rainbow connection.
That's a blast
You know?
from the past.
The lover, the dreamer, and me.
But then also at the same time, the sounds of 76. Brum, brum, bum, 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 as we marched across during the Revolutionary War. Like, we got it all, man.
I love the sounds of 76. 1776.
17.
It's not a disco record. It's fife
Yeah,
and drum.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not Donna Summer. This isn't Rick James, right?
Yeah, this YouTube thing is an interesting beast because it's like that when I first started watching YouTube people, there's a lot of grifters, and it's like if I'm going to do any kind of show or if I'm going to build up my channel, people can agree with me or disagree with me. I don't have a problem with that, but I want to come across like I know what I'm talking about because I've actually lived that world. And people still trying to put you in a box and be like, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, bro, I literally made a movie, and it's and you can go and buy it right now. And it's just like this YouTube thing is there's so much to learn, but it's also so much to kind of dodge to say, okay, I like this, but this didn't really work. And it's like, it's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, it's a completely there's no box anymore. You can do whatever you want. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, because of the nature of these the streaming platforms that we're using, you're slightly limited to what you can do. But if you have a few extra bucks and a little bit of ingenuity, you can turn something that's just as simple as the three of us sitting here into something super creative. There's who's the guy, what's his name? There's a guy who comes on our show who has a green screen behind him, but like it's so good that there are times that you don't realize it's a green screen. And then
Jared?
he'll hit a button. No, it's not Jared. It's
Okay.
he'll hit a button. No, it's all right. Jared's fantastic. It's just this guy it's an epic background. He's from the Ministry of Dude. What's his name? Doc?
Dr. Vito or Dr. Bexto or something?
No. It's
something.
I don't know. I feel terrible. The guy's hilarious. He's been on our show so many
like
times.
A studio, like he's literally in a studio.
Yes, he looks like he's in a studio. He does a great job, and just simple stuff like that, like knowing your tech, and then just up leveling your show, it completely changes. And like you said, you don't want to go on and just be like, oh, I don't really have anything to say, but I want to be on camera, and I want people to like me, so I'm just going to sit here and talk like just some random Twitch streamer who's like, I put a kiddie pool in my bedroom, so now pay me money. But
yeah,
it's there's little things you can do, and we're not incredible or anything like that. We just really enjoy having the show, being able to bring guests on, having a really great chat. The chat is always fun. They're always hysterical. They add a lot to the show. Occasionally there's some hot takes, but that's fine. I mean, we're there for hot takes. We're for a completely open space for people to agree to disagree.
True. So,
and here's to that.
Yeah. Oh, I got my Mountain Dew. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Nearly anything. But
do the do, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my one bugaboo. I don't really drink anymore, so I just do water, juice, soda.
Do the do, man.
Yeah.
There's some killer sodas out there. I used to love having like a Sioux City sarsaparilla or something.
1837 over all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Sarsaparilla.
It was when I was working at the logging camp. So had me some sarsaparilla. Yeah, sometimes a soda like that is just like it. They're like super carbonated, and they got like lots of crazy like molasses flavor or whatever. And it's like sitting and drinking like an old timey beverage. Like it's like you almost sit and kind of enjoy it like you would a whiskey or something like that. You're like, ooh, that sarsaparilla is sassy. That's a good sarsaparilla right there. Is that from Sioux City? That's a good sarsaparilla right there.
You haven't had a sarsaparilla until you've had Sioux City sarsaparilla.
Sioux City's sarsaparilla.
With all the stuff that you did, kind of wrapping up the show, all the stuff that you did, is there any regrets?
Regrets. I mean, there's lots of, there's lots of opportunities not taken. There are times when somebody will kind of like open a door for you and you're either like, no, you know what? I'm not ready for it. Oh, or sometimes it's just your nerves get the better of you and you're like, you know what? I don't think that, like, I don't want to. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to call out. I'm just going to do. So there are not exactly like that, but there are times where, I've felt there were missed opportunities. I did voiceovers a lot too. So I was doing a bunch of random stuff. I was the voice of one of the house channels in Las Vegas in like 15 of the hotels for a number of years.
Wow.
That was kind of cool. A guy that I worked with was the dude who produced this particular show. He basically produced kind of like an extra, but for these hotel rooms, where instead of talking about celebrities, it was talking about the different attractions in Vegas. It's like, oh man, and we're going to the new hot thing off the strip where you can race a race car.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I've seen that.
and so it was done. Yeah, it's done like an entertainment show, but it was still just selling you on all the things that you could do in Las Vegas. And I was like the voice of that for a while. I was a voice in a bunch of dog movies, like where it's like the dog that saved Halloween, the dog that saved Christmas Vacation, where like Mario Lopez is the main dog's voice, and I would be one of the side dogs.
You're like the dog guy. You need a dog voiceover.
You need it.
The
So
dog
hey, you need
guy.
Oh, does he need to be? Is he a gruff dog, or what does he need to be?
That's awesome.
There were opportunities with voiceover stuff where there was this agent that like I was really trying to get connected with, and I ended up just totally botching the whole thing and ended up getting ghosted, and probably making myself look a bit like an amateur or like an idiot when I should have like approached it a little more polished and whatnot. I was in between things, so it was one of those like, oh my god, I got this opportunity. I just got to give this guy some stuff. I just got to hurry. I just got to give it to him. And afterwards, a buddy of mine who was kind of giving me some work advice, he was like, well, they really like to see it, that you're a little more professional like this, or if it's packaged like this. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. I butchered it. Like I did a bad job. There's various things over the years, not working with not spending a couple extra bucks to get yourself onto a casting site that like maybe this one agent is like, well, I mean, if you get picked up off this casting site, and I'm like, oh well, I mean, can I afford to spend $19.99 a month for this random casting site when I have this regular job? Like, why would I be spending this money? But things that probably at the time I should have done, because in Hollywood everybody does those, because you never know, because you could get randomly selected, and I would have been more than happy to stop everything I was doing to do soap commercials. Been like, oh, there was a time, I swear it was like 7 or 8 years ago, where like every other commercial was like a ginger guy, and I was like, oh my god, it's the era of the gingers. I should have stayed in Hollywood. I should have stayed acting. No, but I mean, our path is our path. Maybe I wish I didn't spend as much on the jukebox in the bar, but I love music, so it's kind of tough.
Yeah, it's one of those.
That was my gig at the bar too. I was the one that was in charge.
Guilty pleasure. Music. Yeah, I don't have any regrets. The time that I was in LA, I got to do cool stuff that a lot of people don't ever get a chance to do.
Yeah,
but I was like, at some things I did smell the roses, but then there was other times where you're so in the grind, just trying to make it. I wish I found somebody that was like a mentor. I never found that person that was a mentor. I always had people look at me like, this guy works hard, I don't like him. So it's like there was a lot of people that didn't give me an opportunity because I was like, I wasn't in your face, but I was Mr. Helpful. Like I'd be like, oh, you need help with things? So you know that? And it's like a lot of people appreciated that, but the people that were in the position to hire me didn't like that.
Right.
They're just like, oh, we'll just get some random schmo to do it. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay.
It's super difficult because it's an industry where you really need you really need 3 people in your life when you're in an industry like this, because it's so competitive, because it's changing all the time. You need somebody who's a mentor to you. You need somebody who's older, who maybe you don't work directly with, but you can at least bounce stuff off of.
Yeah.
You can chat with. You can be like, hey, I'm confronted with this situation. What might you do, and this, and someone who can give you, like, maybe I've been there before kind of advice.
Solid advice. Yeah.
Then the second person you need is someone who's a peer of yours. Maybe you do work with them. Maybe maybe it's just a friend of yours, but somebody who's your same age, who you can get kind of same age advice from. Be like, hey man, I'm in this situation that I don't necessarily want this older person's opinion on. Like,
Yeah.
hey, how would you approach this? Or maybe you're looking for a cooler answer than a more than the more level-headed answer. And then having a third person who is a younger person. A lot of times this is somebody you're working with, who you're kind of mentoring. So you have these 3 stages: someone who's mentoring you, someone who's kind of on your level, and someone who you are kind of mentoring, so that they're asking questions of you that maybe you asked at one point and you're happy to help, but maybe they start asking questions that you were like, oh, you know what? I actually never asked that question. I never thought about that. And
Yeah.
sometimes you learn from all 3 of those people, as well as them learning from you. And having, especially in an industry like Hollywood, having those people is super crucial. And when you don't have a lot of people in Hollywood, when they don't have a close knit group of people, when you don't have at least a couple peers to bounce stuff off of, and at least somebody who's older or younger than you that you can kind of assist or be assisted by, like, you end up kind of lost because you're just trying to stay afloat. You don't necessarily always get the best advice, because it's an industry where you could get all the advice in the world and it would still be difficult. So any advice is advantageous.
Yeah, because I would run into people like, okay, so my dad he's not artistic at all. I get all my artistic stuff from my mom, and she passed away when I was 14. So when I was in LA, I was on my own to learn, to meet people, to all that stuff. And I met some cool people, but it's sort of like people kind of come and go in your life all the time, come and go. And it's like a lot of times, like, you'd hook onto a show for a month, and then the people that you were kind of hanging out with, they're on another show or they're gone. So those opportunities to meet those people that met somebody else was gone because you're on a solid job. But then when that job ends and you're looking around going, where'd everybody go? Yeah, those are tough. That's a tough racket right there.
Yeah, the gig racket, where you're not constantly, where you're working with different people all the time. And you don't get to have that regular group of people that you're with. It's there's a bunch of different perspectives of it, because there's a bunch of different type of jobs in the industry. There's the people that are more in with the studios and unions. There's the people more non-union who work out on the fringe. There's people who are in television versus in film, and they all have like slightly different lingo. And somebody who is like has worked on a movie set can pick out somebody who's never worked on a movie set immediately. There's just certain things that you would say that if someone goes, what? It's like, oh, hey, can you strike that chair? And someone goes, strike the chair with what?
With a rock?
What do you want me to strike the chair with? And you're like, oh my God. So strike means to remove or get rid of, which is like what you do with items that are on the set. It's like, oh, we got to strike that table. We got to strike the set when this show's over. So there's little things that you might say that I forgot. We said something the other day. We were on the show, and I think Jared, he was like, what the hell are you even talking about? He was like, what did you just say? Because that's right. Because I called talent. I was like, oh yeah, we were working, when you're working with talent and blah, blah, blah. He was like, did you just call them the talent? Like that's what you do when you're in the industry. You don't even call them by name. You're just like, oh, I got to go talk to the talent.
Well, and then like on the production side, I was always in production, but I'd always work with or have to hire electric guys, assistant camera guys, all that stuff. So he'd be like, hey, so I'd be walk over, like, can you move that lunchbox and put it over there? And somebody would be like, the fuck is a lunchbox?
A lunchbox.
Scooby-Doo lunchbox? What? What are you
No,
talking
it's
about?
it's kind of like a bus that they plug in a bunch of the stingers and everything, but they call it a lunchbox. And somebody that's not in the industry is like, the fuck is a lunchbox?
I was just going to ask you what the fuck the
They're like,
lunchbox was. You're right.
Crafty's over there, buddy.
Yeah, go over there and hang out with the girls.
The talent.
So yeah, so I think that's it. I think it's a wrap. See, there's another lingo.
That's a wrap. Yeah,
It's a wrap.
Wrap
Oh,
it up.
I knew
Wrap
that
it
one.
up.
Wrap it up. This is what you do when you want it to, like, hey, we got to get moving. You just do this in the background to the talent, and they go, got it.
Or stretch it out. Stretch that shit out.
Stretch it. Yeah, the stretch is the worst. Oh my god, I've gotten the stretch before for something
did
that I
you?
was doing, and I was like, oh god. No, hey. So anyway, we're here. You
Try
start
to do it seamless without it, like noticing it, and then
It's one of those-
pausing for like
you go back to radio where you start describing like where you're at, what you're doing. Hey, so we're here again. We're located right here and blah blah blah, and we're doing this and we're talking with so and so, and you just kind of let's just add a bunch of baloney.
It's 77 degrees outside. And,
It's tipped up hour of 5. All right.
it's 5 o'clock somewhere, everybody.
Hey.
All
You
right.
gotta make it up.
Well, I greatly appreciate you guys having me on the show. It's been
I
super,
had so much fun, dude. It
was awesome.
This is so much fun.
Thank you
super fun
for
chatting with you guys.
making the time to hang out with us, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
no,
could talk
it's
about.
so cool.
I mean, that's sort of part of the channel. Is we could talk about movies and television and music literally all day.
Yeah, I could probably do the same. I shouldn't, but I could probably do the same.
Yeah.
I could
So
probably-
me and Julio would do 2 hours because before it's like you're so worried about like what do you have to talk to. Me and him could talk for 2 hours, and it's like, oh shit, we've already been going for 2 hours.
We didn't even get to the thing that we were
didn't
planning
even
on
get to
talking
the thing
about.
we were supposed to be talking about.
Yeah, I blame my Italian heritage. We're very mouthy people.
So when you're like, well, I'm gonna be a little late, I was like, don't worry, we can fill that time. No,
We'll be
don't
all right.
you worry.
Here we are. Well, thank you guys again for accommodating me and having me on. I really appreciate it.
So much fun. Appreciate it.
So yeah, I'm on the Twitter. I'm not super active on X that much, but the Salty and Savage Show. You can check that out Tuesday nights. We're on the YouTubes, and
10 p.m.
Also check out my store at Plants and Records. We're on the Instagram because we're old people. But we're always posting, interesting stuff that's coming out of collections or, flip throughs, and also cool, plant montages because we're also a plant store. So,
Ooh, I
it's
see your
nice.
Instagram. It says Pool 19. That's you, right?
That's me.
You follow.
19.
That's us.
Plants
Yeah. Hook
and
it,
Records.
hook it up. Plants and Records, man. It's a vibe, bro. It's a vibe.
It seems like a cool vibe in a
Hell yeah.
historical building.
Yeah.
Just go there and chill and
Yeah. It's pretty cool. We're working on, thinking about trying to get like some local bands to do like unplugged kind of acoustic shows in the back. Maybe
That'd be dope.
maybe we'll stream them, maybe not.
Yeah.
It's just we've been so busy with, we also just bought a house here, so we're in the middle of all of these things. So
A lot of projects.
it's been crazy.
Well, all
But-
the best to you and your lady and your
Thank you very-
exciting new venture. It's so cool, like a plant record shop. It's like
It is cool. It is a cool
It's-
vibe.
when I
It
grow
is
up,
pretty-
There was
I
one
want to
in
be.
my little town right here. The cool little. So they need to lean in the fact that they're a small town. So like maybe like a little record tape shop and maybe like a little soda jerk. With maybe has some ice cream. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you gotta
Yeah,
lean in the
sarsaparilla.
fact that it's a small town.
Sarsaparilla, of course.
All right. Well, I want to be
Sarsaparilla, yeah.
savage when I grow up. That's what I've learned tonight. And thank you, Savage, for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys, Julio and Derek, both of you guys for having me. Really do appreciate it. And thank you so much for always coming on the show and being in the chat. We appreciate you.
Oh, it's a great show. So
Yeah,
great
no
show.
problem.
Appreciate you being
No
there.
problem.
Yeah, I've had a blast, and I'd be more than happy. I'm not always available aside from just our show. I try to carve out a niche for that, but I'd be more than happy to come back on sometime again in the future if you have me.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be great.
Absolutely. No question. So
Yeah.
thank you, everybody watching. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Scorpio. Appreciate y'all.
Scorpio.
Yeah. So today's Thursday, so we'll see you guys Sunday at 7 p.m. And we're going to talk about some news and stuff. And then we're
And?
going to deep dive on Hugh Hefner.
My man.
what's happening.
nice.
So we always do a deep dive on Sunday. So we'll pick like Hugh Hefner. We'll do a record producer. We'll do something and kind of deep dive into it.
Okay, cool. Very, very interesting. There's lots of stuff to deep dive into the Playboy Mansion.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've seen a lot of behind the scenes footage from some of those parties. It's been crazy.
Yes, there is. All right, bye everybody.
All right, kids.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in.